Hello, welcome back to the world. I'm just gonna make this quick. An hour into the recording, another power outage because nobody fucking told me that the goddamn pump was still running. Like, I was told the pump was running before I went into town, bought food, went back, ate the food, took a shower, and then went downstairs. Like, they told me before that. So, of course, I thought that, at the very least, while I'm, taking a shower or something, like, the hour fucking passed for it to be turned off. So I thought, of course, it was fucking turned off already, but fucking wasn't, so... And the MKV file, again, didn't do the fucking thing it was supposed to do! Made me save the fucking the fucking footage! But yeah, let's go with Orihime. I'm just gonna not fuck around. I'm just gonna, basically just speed go through this until the point where I was stood. I want to go to the planetarium with Orihime. Only had to think about it for a moment before making a decision. I wouldn't have been able to if I'd sent them replied to Corona before sending the message. We'd never chosen an actual date, but I had made plans with Orihime first, after all. It wasn't like I had very many chances like this to go hang out with her alone with her, either. Sunday works for me, I'd love to go with you. I responded to Orihime's invitation. Just then my phone went off. It wasn't a messaging app, though, it was a phone call. Hello, this is Akita speaking. Out of habit, I answered the phone a little too politely. It wasn't really wrong, but I felt a little bad about it. For some reason, Orihime's voice sounded even better over the phone than it had that afternoon. Is this in regards to the planetarium trip we discussed? Oops. You know what, I'm not even gonna care about interrupting people while they speak. Like, a few minutes after the entire line is on screen, I'm just gonna skip. Like, you have had enough time to read this now. And I just want to get back to the point where I was. I've been listening to the whole time. I've been listening the whole time in silence, and it must have made Orihime a little nervous. Of course not. Sorry if it didn't sound more excited. It's just that I don't hear your voice on the phone very often, and I couldn't help but get a little mesmerized by it. I agree. Using a messaging app was easy, but it was also better to be able to hear the other person's voice when you were talking about something important. Like, again, sorry if I'm just interrupting a bunch of the lines, but I just want to get back to where I was. Like, I've been losing so much fucking footage this past week. I'm sick of repeating anything. Like, honest God, if it was up to me, I've got half a mind to just skip to the part where I was at and start recording there. But I know that wouldn't do well for, the people actually watching this for the game. So, I can't exactly do that. She actually sounded like it too. Hold on, did I read that? Sounds good. I was trying hard to keep my composure as I talked. We'd spoken for a few minutes, but it felt like a conversation had only lasted a moment. I hung up the phone and checked the screen to make sure I had actually ended the call. Alright! I struck a triumphant pose right there in my room. I actually happened to have a real date! Orihime might not be thinking of it in the same way, but then I didn't let that get in the way of celebrating. Not only was Orihime on Boris' side when it came to looks, but he was older and from a high-class family to boot. I thought the invitation to the planetarium had just been her being polite. I didn't think it would actually happen. I can't believe how lucky I am! Well, today I hadn't exactly been lucky myself. We were talking about me. But today hadn't exactly been one of my better days. But this had made up for everything. I was actually going on a date with Orihime to the planetarium this Sunday. That one thought alone had me giddy with excitement. I have to make sure I look nice as to not be rude. Not to be rude. I planned on wearing my best clothes. It was the least I could do in order to be polite to Orihime. Now, Sunday was finally here. After I finished my shift, I spent some time cleaning myself up to look nice and got ready to head out. As I left, Miss Miura was playing with Kotaro in front of the store. Yeah, I have plans in town. I tried answering as casually as I could. I hadn't told anybody about my plans to go to the planetarium with Orihime yet. Miss Miura looked me over carefully from head to toe, from head to foot. She clicked her tongue in annoyance. No, it's not like that. You might like to look nice every once in a while. Once again, I'm sorry about skipping, but I just want to get back to where I was. Couldn't think of any more excuses. Like, I don't want to have to punt out another, oh, no video today because I'm not feeling like it. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I still want to get, like, the amount of content I planned on. For that, I need to hurry up. No, it's not Saya. Did you think Saya and Hikari were the only two girls I knew or something? Orihime, she goes to Meiko. No, I'm telling you, it's not like that. I should go. The bus is going to be here soon. I never said I would do that! Hikari didn't matter? What was that supposed to mean? Miss Miyaru, Hikari probably seemed like the same girl she'd been back then. She may have grown in height as well as certain other areas, but even I couldn't think of any of her any differently than I did back then. But Saya, what was I going to do about her? You think whatever you like, I've got to go. The bus was just pulling in. I was fed up and didn't have anything else to say, so I hurried over to the stop. Actually, I just noticed, like, did she just call him, like, a breast deviant? Or something like that? Anyways. Great, now people are staring. The bus left as soon as I boarded, but it appeared that they had heard Miss Miharu as well. That woman. I suppose I was lucky that it was Sunday morning. It meant there weren't very many people. Whispered laughter coming from those who were on the bus was enough to make me want to disappear, however. Did I get a little too carried away? I was so excited about going to the planetarium with Orihime that I may have put too much effort into looking nice. It's not like I thought of this was a date. Well, maybe I had, but even so, there was no way that Orihime did. Whatever did matter. Orihime was already waiting for me when I got off the bus. Hi there. Sorry to keep you waiting. And, eyes moved to the person standing next to her. Hello to you too, Honoka. Honoka was standing next to Orihime. Suppose she never did say it would be just the two of us. In fact, I should have been expecting this from the start. No, nothing. My disappointment must have shown on my face. I would just have to try my best to enjoy myself at the planetarium then. Hold on. Both of them appeared to be surprised that I had taken the bus. I would probably have used my bike if I was alone, but that's not the case. I was at least that considerate. Also, I wasn't about to tell them that my biggest reason was not wanting to mess up my hair. Sounds like the word tournament caught her attention. Did you want to try it? I hadn't really meant it as a serious question, but Orihime seemed somewhat disappointed. As long as it wasn't on the street and it was somewhere safe, I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem. Honoka warned Orihime that she was getting off topic again. These two always seem to balance each other out. After a few minutes, the bus to Harbor Town pulled up and we boarded. These two should have been there before, but I still hadn't been to Harbor Town. Small talk continued as the bus made its way down the road. However, I soon realized that I was the only listening to the girls as they talked. To them, this must just feel like any other normal day at school. I was starting to feel dispirited when Honoka changed the subject. Honoka reached over and pressed the button to request a stop. The bus came to a stop and Honoka stood up to get off. Huh? Situation had changed so fast that my head couldn't keep up. That made the plan. Had never been for the three of us to go to the planetarium. No, not at all. I'd actually prefer to be alone with you. She seemed surprised, but her action seemed so refined. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I tried to, in haste, to backtrack, but it was already too late. Orihime gave a slight chuckle. I lost all ability to speak for a moment at her smile. You're here. The bus took another few minutes to get us to Harbor Town. In that time, we managed to get past more than a few difficult moments. Yes, I've never been here before today. I had a hard time imagining that we were still in Hoshinonaka City. Everything looked so different. Just like the name of the town suggested, it looked like a port. The layout made me think of a town in southern France or Italy. It being Sunday, there was a large number of people about, so many in fact that you would think some sort of big event was taking place today. Maybe close, but I never really had a reason to come. I didn't have anybody to come with. That was certainly true, but many had always been an issue as well. This kind of shopping district was always expensive. It wasn't really the kind of place a student would afford to come. If I had enough free time that I could waste in a place like this, I always figured working an extra shift at the store would be a better use of it. For what? I mean, I've got to read that. She actually looked a bit apologetic as she said this. Her reaction actually started to make me feel a little bad. No, don't feel bad. You ain't done nothing wrong. Whoops, sorry, it just kind of slipped out. Things had gotten a little awkward and I started speaking like I would when I was around Takaichi without thinking about it. It would appear that I was even more flustered than I'd realized. Well, he was trying to mimic my manner of speaking, but didn't quite work right. I think I would prefer your normal manner of speaking. seemed she'd been eager to give it a try. However, it must have felt a little awkward for her as well, because she returned to her normal way of speaking right away. With that, the conversation ended and we started making our way towards the planetarium. I wonder what the program schedule looks like. Orihime was looking through the pamphlet she was holding as she answered. Do they close at the same time as the rest of Harbor Town? She looked over at a signboard with information about the planetarium. It looked like Orihime had been right. Is this what the people like the stars? How so? My interest was truly piqued as we continued making our way to the planetarium. I definitely didn't have to worry about not being able to find the place. Is that dome the planetarium? There was a large hard sphere sticking out of one of the buildings. It stuck out like a sore thumb among the rest of Harbor Town. Outside the entrance, we checked to see which program was playing today. The 1 o'clock show had just started. What would you like to do? I'm fine with waiting here, or we could wander around a bit. Being so excited about going to the planetarium a minute ago, Orihime sure switched gears quickly. It was right around lunchtime and the food stalls were busy serving the hungry crowds. Have you eaten today? In other words, she hadn't had lunch yet. I haven't eaten lunch yet either. Let's go see what looks good and have some lunch. If she suggested a restaurant inside the mall, cost probably would have been an issue. With the food stalls, however, it looked like I would be able to avoid an awkward situation. It looked like things were going in my favor. That's churro. It's like a long, thin donut. Orihime's eyes were almost sparkling as she walked over to stand in line. You don't have to wait in line. I can get a churro for you. I don't know where she got that idea, but she seemed to be enjoying herself. I had no intention of raining on her parade. She looked positively delighted as she walked back holding her churro. It's the shape of the tip of the pastry bag they use when making the dough. Orihime looked excited as she was about to take her first bite. Even her eating habits seemed elegant though, and she only took a nibble off the end. Judging from her expression, she didn't think that was a bad thing. She held out the churro that she'd taken a bite out of. Huh? Oh, no, I couldn't. Seeing my hesitation, she realized what she'd done. She broke off the top half of the churro and handed it to me. Of course, that meant it was the piece that she'd taken a bite out of. Thank you. Orihime was smiling at me as she held out the churro. I couldn't very well say no now. I accepted it and took a bite. Couldn't help but think about the fact that I was eating from the piece Orihime had taken a bite from. It is pretty good, you're right. I decided not to say anything more and just enjoy the sugar-coated churro she'd split with me. Didn't want to bring attention to the fact that we indirectly kissed. The thing is, there's got to be 2 planetarium shows, and I'm just going to be skipping through those, honestly. Like, at least I'm going to be skipping through the first one. We wandered around the stalls eating for a while longer. Before long, it was getting close to the start of the next show. Like, I'm gonna leave you enough time to actually, like, pause the video and read the lines. But you know, Orihime had washed her hands and was drying them on her handkerchief as we shifted gears and headed for the main event.
さあ、限定メロンパンの焼き上がり時間ですわ。
We need to head to the planetarium or we'll be late.
わかっていますわ。もちろん冗談です。
Didn't sound like you had been joking. So is this what a planetarium looks like these days, huh? We bought our tickets and we're standing inside the dome. It was like being in a different world. Though the projectors weren't on yet, it was still a world devoid of stars. But like that. The stark white screen above us made it look like somebody had taken a cloudy sky and squeezed it down to fit inside the dome. So that is going to turn into the night sky? Thinking that, I was starting to get excited. Just what kind of a starry sky would be shown to us?
建物自体はできてまだ見て、あれがここの心臓。天の星々を映し出す投影機よ。
There in the center of the dome sat a plain metal object. It looked dull and out of place when compared to the bright white screen above it. Its rustic shape gave off an old industrial feel.
通常なら新設されるプラネタでもあれは違う。以前閉館になったプラネタリウムから譲り受けたという数十年前に
wasn't all familiar with the equipment that they used at planetariums. Though I did feel a strange sense of awe as I studied the projector with its two connected spheres. I remember hearing once that there were one for the northern hemisphere and one for the southern. The arrangement of the stars was completely different in the two hemispheres. In order to be able to show both, they needed one sphere for each of the hemispheres' star maps.
今ではもうこのような形態の投影機を使っているところは、でも昔ながらのこれがいいというファンも多いの。こちらの館長さん。
I continued listening to Orihime as we made our way to our seats. The chairs were really soft, but pulling on a lever and leaning back, they reclined until you were almost lying flat. It offered a comfortable angle to look look straight up, perfect for looking at the stars. The sky I was looking up at was still solid white, but soon it would be filled with stars. My heart was beating like it would on a roller coaster, waiting for it to take that first big plunge. It's the same feeling you get just before looking into a telescope. As showtime drew near, the empty seats around us started filling up. Before I realized it, the theater was nearly full. There are so many people here. I wonder if all of these people enjoyed stargazing. The Six Stars Club was hurting for members. If the current members could see how many people were here right now, they would likely feel a bit hurt.
星が嫌いな人なんていませんわ。誰しも一度くらいは星空を見た記憶。ここはそんな人たちの記憶を呼び戻すための場所。
A place to remind them of that feeling, huh? And that's why they used the old-style projector?
どうでしょう。そこまでは私にもわかりませんわ。
For long there was an announcement. The lights slowly began to dim. The sky overhead turned to night. It was so dark inside the dome that the emergency lights began to feel too bright. Wadima's voice was just a whisper. Soon we wouldn't be able to talk anymore. I was preparing myself for the show to start when she leaned over one last time. That was the last thing she said before the show started. Okay then. Like I said, now I'm just going to skipping through the show while leaving you enough time to actually pause the video and read the lines. Because I'm not going to be an absolute asshole.
冬の空はとても澄んでいて、ですが恋人とのデートや家族、そういった皆さんのために特別に1月12日午後8時ちょうどの星の中市です。
This should be much faster, and that way I will actually be able to cover a lot more in this part. このようにそれは時間にご覧ください。南半球の星空を。本日1月12日の夜、南半球と北半球では見える星も皆さんもご存知かと思います。そう、こちらが
南十字星。サザンクロスとも呼ばれる南半球には我々の知らない珍しい
Whoops, you didn't get to read that one. Go ahead and check this out.
星座がたくさんあります。これからそのいくつかをご紹介していきましょう。真夏のニュージーランドから改めてご覧ください。我々もよく知っている冬の星座たちです。
Which triangle?
冬のダイヤモンドの一角、お牛座のア
Once
ルデ
again,
バ
I'm
ラ
really
ン
sorry
から
about
伸
just
びた
skipping through
先
this,
に
but
あ
I
る
don't
の
want to go
が
through all of this
クレ
again.
アデス星
Like,
団
it's
です。
very educational, sure,
こち
but
ら
I
は
don't feel like
ス
going
バ
through
ル
it
とも
again.
呼ばれ、
Like, I'm not
日本
going to
で
be
も
like
よく知られて
covering
い
the
ます。
entirety of the second one after all, I think. Or like the more important moments where the MC is actually talking. Good old Octo. At least like thinking. Phew. The lights came on, turning the black dome overhead back to white. Our journey through the stars was over, and I had switched back to
楽
reality.
しんでいただけたかしら。
Yes, I did. If I had known it was that good, I would have come much sooner. I had enjoyed it even more than I thought I would. Before the show had started, I had been more concerned with the girl sitting next to me, but I completely lost myself in the
サ
stars.
ルミ君に喜んでもらえてよかっ
The
た
other
で
members
す
of
わ。
this audience began to file out of the sea of theater. Shall we get going? It had been a great experience, but now it was over. I felt the reluctance to go as we stood up and left. What should we do now? Now that we'd done what we'd come here to do, it was probably time to go home. Even though I knew that, I still didn't feel completely satisfied.
一応考えはあるけれど、時間は平気か
As
しら。
long as I'm back before tonight, I'll be
まあ
fine.
問題ないわね。プログラムは一種類だけではありませんわ。もう一つも見てみましょう。
Orihime turned around to face the door we had just come out of. Was she really planning on going to the planetarium twice in a row?
先ほどの生解説も素晴らしい。ということで、
Whoops, there you go, read it.
どうかしら。
Sure. I did still feel like I wanted to see more. If she wanted to watch another show, I wasn't going to say no. I purchased another pair of tickets and went back inside. The guy at the window sure gave us a funny
連
look.
続で見る人などあまりいないでしょうし。
We found our seats again and sat down. They weren't the exact same ones as before, but of course I was still sitting next to Orihime. So this next show isn't going to have live commentary like the last one.
需要に合わせて供給にも幅を持たせている。生解説は小さい子供や天文好きデート中のカップルのためのプログラムもそれ以上に求められてい
Something
る
for
という
couples on a date.
正直どんな内容なのか全く想像がつきま
Orihime
せん
chuckled
わ
at
よね。
this. Her behavior made me think that she already knew. Have you already seen it?
拝見しましたわ。今回のは私が以前見たのとはまた別のプログ
She
ラム
was
です
piquing my curiosity the same way she'd done before the first show. I was getting excited again as I reclined my seat. Before long, the show
始
began.
まりますわよ。
The light in the theater began to dim once more. I could make out the silhouette of the projector in the other side of the room, but even that was soon swallowed in the
ただい
darkness.
まより冬季特別プログラ
The
ム
title of this program was certainly an
Holiness.
interesting one. There you go.
神話のシンフォニーをお送り
Probably
しま
was
す。
going to be all about stories and legends related to stars.
皆さんこんにちは。月浦美琴です。今日は素敵な神話の世界へでは
I'll be
早速
shutting up again unless
星の
there's
世
like
界に旅
something
立ちましょう。
I actually deem
ミュー
important.
ジックスタート。ちょうど季節は冬。澄んだ空気に天高くそんな時、あなたの今星を見上げながらその人と手をつないでみてください。
I was expecting a quest of this magnitude to suddenly be dropped on me. Orihime wasn't any of those things, though.
空見くん、失礼しますね。
Orihime reached her hand over to mine. It was dark, and it took her a second to find it, but she wrapped her hand around mine. Are you sure about this?
そういう指示ですもの。問題ありませんわ。
She didn't seem to find it very difficult to reach over and hold my hand. should be happy that we were holding hands, but I actually felt a bit let down at how easy it had seemed for her.
皆さん、手はつなぎましたか？はい、どうぞ。なかなか大人気ですね。私も。では、全員つないだところで、神話の旅にレッツ。まず、最初の旅はここ。では、せーので、もし両手に花な人は、ここでどっちの子にするか選んじゃいましょう。二股は絶対ダメです。
The audience laughed again. I was sure glad Honoka had joined us. I definitely wouldn't have been able to laugh
で
then.
は行きますよ。せーの。そう、それがシリウスです。一番大きくて一番明るい星、それがベテルギウス。ここで皆さん何かに気づきませんか？皆さんご存知オリオン座です。お待たせしました。恋の神話のシンフォニー。まずはオリオンと月と狩りの女神アルテミスの恋の物語をお届けしましょう。アポロンは
Like I said, I'm just going to be skipping through this.
アポロンはシスコン
Like, it's
だったらし
interesting,
く
it's very intriguing. I really like myths and legends and all that, but I don't feel like listening to the same legends twice in a fucking row within less than an
これ
hour.
はアポロ。何にも知らないアルテミスはアルテミスもちろんお話はそこで終わりません。こうしてアルテミスは月に、これがオリオンとアルテミスの美しくも悲しい恋の物語です。
Holding hands with Orihime, I could sense her laughter, surprise, and other emotions. I didn't realize you could tell so much about another person without being able to see their face. That was the most profound thing I learned at the planetarium. That was great. The lights came back on, bringing my senses back to reality. All the legends that had been told were famous. I had heard them all before, and yet I had been completely engrossed by them. I feel like I just watched a movie. I felt very different than I had after watching the first show we'd seen. This one had severely limited the educational factor and had stressed the fun aspect. The show had also been just under an hour long, a good length for two people on a date, I suppose. The feeling of getting sucked into the stories followed me out of the theater. Felt like my eyes had just been opened to a new and wonderful experience.
どちらのプログラムも大変よくできていたと思います。
Having a dedicated staffman to give its live commentary certainly had its benefits. The show could be slightly different each time. On the other hand, the program aimed at couples may seem superficial, but it was certainly more entertaining than the first.
ただ、どちらがより一般受けするか
I'm sure the planetarium being located here in Harbortown has an effect on that.
適材適所という言葉もあるでしょ。地域の科学科のですが、星に興味を持たない人への訴求力。
It's clear that the latter would have the advantage. The narrative was certainly good, though, wasn't she? Performance was on par with a professional actress, and her voice. The contents of the first show had been better, but when it came to performance, it didn't come close to the pre-recorded show. And Mikoto Tsukiura's voice. Just listening to her voice had been so pleasant. Hold on. Okay.
そんなにいい声でしたか?
I think so. She must be some kind of voice actress or something. Didn't know anything about the voice acting world, but I was sure a quick search would tell me who she was.
もしかして月浦美琴をご存知ありませんの?
Is she a famous voice actress?
声優ではなく女優ですわ。元がつきますけど。
I see. That would explain why she was so good then.
空見くんはあまり芸能人には詳しくないようね。
I don't really watch a lot of television. It wasn't always that way, but after my parents were in the accident, I had moved in with my relatives, I didn't have a lot of time to watch TV. I was never able to join in with my friends when they talked about it either. I just kept getting more and more disconnected from that sort of thing.
そう。
Was she really
昔の
famous?
話ですわ。女優を辞めてからもう随分経ちますもの。私たちの親世代にはそれなりに有名な人だと思います。
See, I started to look her up when I got
今
home.
回のプログラムも20年ほど前に作られたものだそうです。ですからその元女優の方もいい年ですわ。今ではただの可愛いお
I
ばさん
chatted my hopes and dreams. I guess there wasn't much point in looking her up online now. I learned a lot today, and I had never thought of using an approach like that when it came to the stars. Also, she called her a cute old lady, adorable old lady there in the actual
で
like
すから
voice line.
その元女優の方もいい年ですわ。今ではただの可愛いおばさまです。むつら星の会にとってもいい参考にな
Well,
る
to
と思
tackle
い
the
ま
issue
す
of lack of members, it may be the best to adopt this technique. What does the rest of the program schedule look like here? I grabbed one of the program pamphlets that was sitting next to the entrance. Looks like these are the only 2 shows playing this month. From the looks of it, the program changed every month. What's this special open house day? I feel like that's going to be important later. The planetarium was closed once a week, but one of those days had a special mark
こ
on it.
ちらの張り紙にも書いてあるみたい。
Ojinonok City
地
Gathering?
域のイベントですわね。プラネタリウムを借りて
They're gonna reserve the whole
何か
planetarium?
そのようです。私も初耳でしたわ。
It looked like you could only do it on a day the planetarium was normally closed, but even that was big news.
こちらの掲示も手作りで温かみがあっていいですわね。
Schedule shows a bunch of other events as well. There's some kind of speed dating event. Maybe I should tell Miss Mihoru about it. Dating event at a planetarium seemed kind of romantic.
でも中が暗くてはお相手の顔も
I'm
見
sure
えない
they've thought of that. Maybe they do something like we did back there when like we did back there to make them hold hands. The remainder made Orihime blush. The reminder.
少し恥ずかしい
Not
わね。
remainder, I'm a fucking idiot.
迷惑ではなかった
Although
かしら
your hand was very soft. We'd held hands from beginning to from right at the beginning all the way through to the end. I realized that it was all part of the show, but it was a little embarrassing when you actually thought about it.
そろそろ帰りましょうか。
Yeah, things felt a little awkward as we headed for the bus stop. We got on the bus bound for Meiko Academy. It would stop in Hoshino Station along the way.
少し待てば三日月方面行きも来ましたのに。
That's alright, I'll just transfer at Hoshino Station. It was only a few minutes away. It wasn't much, but it meant I could stay with Orihime a bit
プラ
longer.
ネタリウムを見て何かインスピレーションが湧いたかしら。
A little, I guess. It was true. The biggest part was being able to watch the 2 different
この
shows.
まま星見に行きたい気分ではあるけれど、今夜は自室の窓から見ることにしますわ。
Yeah, I have work tonight. Though I suppose I could always go for a bit after my shift ends. Maybe I would hop on my bike after the shop closed to go watch the stars for a while.
羨ましいですわ。そちらは山も近くて街の光も少ないでしょうから。
In that case, I'll bring the stars to you. Just wait. There we go. I'm now at the part where the power outage happened again. Let's go, Kotaro! After my shift ended, I grabbed Kotaro and we headed to the special spot. My breath was sending up little clouds, white clouds that climbed high into the cold air. I could see Kotaro's breath as well. I was in a hurry and was making him run a bit faster than normal. Kotaro, you wait here for a bit. I tied off his leash and climbed up onto the roof of the old train car. Right. The moon was lighting up the whole sky. The moon is pretty big tonight. This isn't going to work. Pulled out my phone to check the phase of the moon. Last night it had been full. The spot may be darker because of the hills, but that just made the moon look all the brighter. I guess the moon wouldn't be terrible. I decided to forego looking at the stars and focus my attention on the moon instead. I should have a telescope with me, or at least a pair of binoculars. Made an 8 centimeter refracting telescope. I had an 8 centimeter refracting telescope in my room, but I hadn't thought to bring it all the way out here. I guess I do have one, but That was the Pleiades that was being stored inside the old train car, but I didn't have any intention of messing with it. Wonder if my phone could get a decent picture. I pointed my phone up towards the moon. This isn't going to work, it won't focus. The autofocus just couldn't handle focusing on the moon. With a regular camera, you could turn off autofocus when you were taking pictures of the night sky and do it manually. Didn't know how to do it with a smartphone though. I bet Naru wouldn't know how to take pictures in these conditions. I can't ask her right now though. Wanted this to be something just between me and Orihime. That's why I couldn't ask for help from anybody. Slowly, Kotaro, just a bit longer. Kotaro was getting impatient. I guess I would just have to make do with what I was capable of right now. Pointed my camera at the moon again. It was so bright that you almost couldn't look at it. I pressed the shutter button and snapped a photo. After opening my message app, I sent Orihime the picture I'd just taken. The moon looks absolutely amazing tonight. I couldn't really get a good shot though. I told her I would bring her the stars, but all I could send was a blurry picture of the moon. Couldn't even see the craters. It just looked like a big glowing circle. Looks much better in person. I hated that I couldn't show her just how good it looked. For too long, I received a reply.
残念でしたわね。でも、ありがとう。私も今、あなたと同じ月を見ています。
She's the reason why Kotaro was barking. Her reply made my heart start beating faster.
月写真 now.
Orihime sent me a picture of the moon, probably from her bedroom window. It looked just as bad as the picture I'd taken. It does look the same.
西高の方に聞いたら、上手な撮り方教えてくれるかしら。
I'm sure Naru would if you asked. I really didn't want to include anybody else in our conversation right now. Didn't say that to Orihime though. Instead I just waited for a response.
後日にしましょう。夜も遅いですから。
I was relieved at her decision.
スラミくん、ちょっといいかしら。
Did I mind about what? Before I had a chance to ask, however, Orihime answered my question. My phone's display suddenly glowed brightly with a notification for an incoming call.
こんばんは、ソラミくん。
Good evening, Orihime. What's wrong?
大事なことはきちんと声で伝えたかったの。
Look down.
今日はありがとう。プラネタリウム、とても楽しかったわ。
I should be the one thanking you. You're the one who showed me around.
案内してあげますなんて言いはしたけれど、本当は迷惑じゃなかったかしら。吉岡からもよく言われているのよ。会長は強引すぎますって。
I smiled at that, but didn't actually voice my laughter. Honoka certainly wasn't wrong.
あなたにはぜひあのプラネタリウムを経験してもらいたかったの。プレアデス1号のような何かをもう一度。私が卒業してしまうまでもう2ヶ月しか残っていないから。
Orihime's voice was coming out of the phone, but it seemed to only last a moment before it disappeared like my breath into the cold winter air. Words were not lost though. Feelings were reaching me just fine. 2 months is plenty of time. If you need anything, I'll be here. Didn't have the slightest idea what I should do, or even if there was anything that I could do at that point in time. Yet I had the strong urge to do whatever I could to help.
ソラミくん、ありがとう。嬉しかったわ。写真は残念だったけど、でもあなたの星はちゃんと届きましたわ。
Back to the now! Huh? We in Mako for some reason? When the break had ended and everybody was getting back into their routines at their schools, that was when Honoka sent out a message to all the members of the Six Stars Club. She had requested a meeting.
皆さん、本日はお集まりいただきありがとうございます。早速ではありますが、むつら星の会のミーティングを始めたいと思います。
Honoka seemed to have taken over her role as a moderator rather well.
まず最初に 名工天文部から皆さんにご報告があります。会長、お願いします。
At her prompt, Orihime stood up.
この度、私、大下駄の白鳥織姫は、名工学院天文部を正式に引退することになりました。つきましては、むつら星の会の会長職につきましても、本日をもって返上させていただきたいと思います。
At the sudden announcements, the member of the other schools all began speaking.
白鳥さん、ついに入隊してしまうんですか？
まあ3年で居残ってるのも彼女だけだったしね。
寂しくなります。
Hikari was already missing from the group. Of course, Noriko was the representative for Orihime, so even if Harika hadn't moved away, she wouldn't be here today. Saya was here as a representative for the Seisen Girls Academy. She hadn't looked very good since she showed up, however. You okay?
ごめんね。私なら大丈夫だから。
She seemed to tense up when I spoke to her. She smiled and waved a hand to dismiss the question.
白鳥会長の引退に際し、すべきこともいろいろありますが、その前に皆さんからの近況を伺いたいと思います。
近況って言われてもね、この前の観測会から間が空いてないだろ。とりあえず個人的には初日の出を取りに行ってきたよ。あとは四分ギザ流星群。
Oh, I watched the Quadrantes as well.
私もです。光とアキトくんと3人で。
いいなあ。こっちは一人だったよ。誘ってくれたらよかったのに。
Oh, watching the meteor shower with 3 lovely ladies even.
じゃあ次の機会にはぜひ。
Saya hesitated a bit in response to how friendly Narue was being, then responded as politely as she could.
モロコでは前回の観測会についての解説を作成してむつら星のブログに投稿しました。
丁寧な解説ありがとうございました。感想もいくつか届いていますよ。
では後で見せてください。
Keisuke's observation report had been quite good. The images used in the post were apparently ones taken by the members of Nishi High. I'd been worried that it wouldn't get done because of the New Year's holiday, but Keisuke had done a great job.
私の方もいろいろありましたが、先日個人的にプラネタリウムを鑑賞してきました。
ハーバータウンのですよね。今月のプログラム気になっていたんですよ。
なかなかのものでしたわ。空見くんと二人ではしごしてしまいましたもの。
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Everyone looked up in surprise at Orihime's comment. Honoka was the only other person who had known. The look on her face! The look on her face The look on her face seemed to say, "You've done it now!" So basically the same kind of expression I just had on.
なにどういうことよ。それってプライベートでってことだよね。
Like Saya's just like, ah, so it is, huh? Little shit.
アキトくん、私全然聞いてないんだけど。
いいですね。プラネタリウムデートですか。
It wasn't really a date. As one would expect, everybody turned their attention to this new development. I guess I could live with the fallout. After all, I'd gotten to go to the planetarium alone with Orihime.
はしごって言ってましたよね。ということは、2種類両方見
She knows about which programs we're running.
そうよ。どちらも甲をつつけがたかったわ。
そうなんですか。
Noriko's face turned red as she looked down at the table.
どうしたの加納さん。
2種類のうち片方はカップル向けのプログラムになっていたはずですので。
カップル向けですか。しかも白鳥さんと。
いいじゃないの、別に。どのようなものか興味があったのだから。
Orihime got a little defensive.
大人だって子供向けの作品を見ることがあるでしょ。それと同じよ。
それと同じって言われても。
Saya was sitting next to Noriko and she kept nodding her head in agreement, like, yeah, he's guilty. The little shit is guilty. Are you saying I did something wrong?
悪いとは言ってないわよ。スラミ君は会長に巻き込まれただけですから。吉岡、私はもう会長ではないわよ。分かっていますよ。白鳥元会長。
Okay, I like the cheek in that one. Nobody seemed to know how to react to this new information. It just started making comments. They weren't calling it a scandal, rather they were probably just getting excited about having new gossip to discuss.
脱線してしまいましたが、
I love those
会合
eyes.
に
I
戻りた
love
いと思い
those
ます。
eyes. I love that expression. It doesn't unsettle me, which is good. Her eyes usually do kind of unsettle me. Ugh.
本日議題にしたいのはいくつかありますが、まずは次期会長問題について。
If Orihime was retiring, we needed to choose our next leader.
吉岡さんでいいんじゃないの？そうですね。しっかりされている方ですし、私は空見くんが適任だと思っていたんですが。
Oh, look at that cute pout. Me, president? That took me by surprise. Didn't sound like this had been discussed before, however. It sounded more like people had just been thinking about it on their own.
アキトくんならいいと思うよ。確かに。フレアデス1号の制作ではいいとこ見せてたしね。専門の知識も豊富ですし。
Hold on. The inside of my nose is itching. Hold on a minute. If that's how we're deciding, wouldn't Keisuke be a better choice?
いや、自分は見てなくても助手受けしないですから。
That doesn't make sense. At the last observation party, Keisuke helped out a lot. There was no way the girls thought of him as incapable. None of the people who were at the event and had listened to his heartfelt commentary would think that. And what would we do about our meeting place? This room is way better than what we would have to use at my
も
school.
ちろん、スラミくんが会長になってからも、引き続きこの部屋を使用してくださって構いません。
Like, she just says like, God damn it, Honoka, that was like my one ticket out. I couldn't make another school host meetings if I was the president.
ですが、吉岡、責任から逃げようとするのはあなたの悪い癖よ。
Orihime interrupted Honoka with some rather harsh words as she persisted in her argument. The room fell silent. Orihime just sat staring at Honoka.
会長、あなたの気持ちもわかるわ。でも、彼の気持ちも考えなさい。
When it came to size and equipment, Maker Academy certainly had the best astronomy room. Nobody said as much, but they were probably all thinking it.
確かに、他校の部室で仕切るのはちょっと気まずいですよね。吉岡が気にしないと言っても気にする人はいるの。ここを使用するのならあなたが適任なのよ。本当に皆さんは私でもいいんですか？
Honoka looked around at everybody's faces. We all nodded to her.
全会一致のようね。おめでとう。あなたがムツラ星の新会長よ。
Everybody burst into applause.
皆さん、ありがとうございます。
I honest God expected good old Octo to be the president because, you know, he's the eldest sister. Which is kind of weird to say. Also, my toe, my left toe hurts for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm just like stretching it different directions, trying to get it to stop hurting. Now, don't smell my hands. I say that, but I've got like I'm freshly showered. It shouldn't be that smelly. Like, if it smells, it's probably placebo. Monika bowed her head low as she made her acceptance speech. With that, the next generation of the Six Stars Club had begun.
それでは会合を再開したいと思います。この度会長として就任いたしました私から皆さんに提案したいことがあります。
Monika's proposition was to make our meetings more of a regular occurrence. Orihime was the one who had brought back the Six Stars Club. Until now, meetings had been held sporadically whenever she'd asked us to come. Honoka's suggestion was to hold meetings at regular intervals once a month.
いいんじゃないかな。月1だったら。
皆さんの近況も知ることができますしね。
聖戦女子の皆さんはどうですか？
私ですか？
Saya was thrown off at suddenly being at the center of attention
もと
of
もと
the
聖戦女
conversation.
子の天文部は漫画を描くための隠れ蓑に使われているとのことでしたので。
それは大丈夫です。この前の観測会が楽しかったそうなので、私が参加できなくなっても誰かが代わりに来てくれると思います。
Saya's comment made everybody realize something. The fact that she may not be able to continue coming to the meeting reminded everybody that things couldn't remain the way they were before
参加でき
forever.
なくなってしまうんですか？いえ、あくまで可能性の話で、光が戻ってくるまでは続けたいと思ってます。
Everybody seemed to relax at this. Everybody knew how close Saya and Hikari were. If she said she would stay until Hikari came back, Saya would be sure to keep her word.
では、むつら星の会合の定例化は決定ということで、日程については皆さんの都合を確認した上で決めましょう。
The meeting continued moving forward at a good pace until under our new president's guidance.
次に、今後の我々の活動についてですが、ちょっといいかな。
Naruto raised her hand to interrupt Honoka before she could move on.
はい、なんでしょう。私個人はいいんだけどさ、どこもこの時期は忙しいんじゃないかなって。
そうなんですの？
名工はエスカレーター式だから姫さんも顔出せてるんだろうけど、タコは受験で忙しくしてるはずだと思うよ。
Now that it was January, everyone was probably about to get really busy. Even Konoha was busy with studying for entrance exams and had said she couldn't make it today.
すみません。配慮が足りませんでしたわ。ということは、残念ですが、
Oops.
受験期間が終わるまでは、隊としての活動は休止を考えてもいいと思います。
The third year members may have all retired from their clubs, but the first year and second year members were feeling the effect of the exams. I could already feel the rush as the students of Hoshino Daiichi started getting ready for their entrance exams.
そうですか。残念ですが仕方ありませんね。
では、次の会合は2月の下旬にするということで、それまでは各自自由に活動を行ってください。
That was too bad. We'd had a good momentum going after the success of the observation party on Christmas Eve, and we're ready to tackle the next. The Six Stars Club was just making its comeback, and now we are already stalling out.
その代わりと言っちゃなんだけどさ、3月に入ったら観測会をしたらどうかな。
いいですね。
冬は天文の季節ですし。
3年生の卒業に合わせてというのはどうでしょう。引退した3年の先輩方をお呼びして大々的に。
Can be their last big event before they have to leave.
あまりいい響きではありませんわね。
I guess it would sound that way if you were one of the ones leaving.
観測会をするとして場所はどこがいいでしょうか？
この近隣じゃ星のダムのあそこがベストだと思うけど。
Does it have to be in the area? I just said it as a passing thought, but everybody suddenly looked toward me.
そうよ。遠くに行けばいいじゃない。
How did you not think about that?
観測旅行。いや、合宿か。
合宿。それはとても甘美な響きね。
Orihime seemed to like that idea.
しかし合宿となるといろいろ手続きも多そうですが、そこはほら吉岡新会長が頑張るってことで。
頼りにしてます。
よろしくお願いします。
そんないきなり責任重大すぎます。
Drowning in the hopeful looks of the others, Honoka looked at Orihime in
ダ
desperation.
メよ、吉岡。私は追い出される側なのだから。
I'll help you.
私も時間があれば協力しますので。
ありがとうございます。ではなんとか頑張ってみたいと思います。
She didn't have room to complain after just being elected as the new president. She looked a bit worried, but also seemed determined.
ま、手が空いてたらこっちも手伝うよ。
Everybody promised to lend a hand when they could. They all seemed interested in the idea of an observation camp. Even if they were busy, I'm sure they would make time to help with planning.
では、3月の上旬に合宿旅行をすることにします。幹事は不詳、大下駄の吉岡が行うということで。
With that, we had to start off a plan. One could coordinate as we made plans for an observation camp. We had to plan where we would go, what date we would hold the event, what equipment to bring, who to invite, and a budget estimate. There was going to be so much to do that no matter how much time we had, that probably wouldn't be enough. On top of that, Orihime would be a guest. She wouldn't be helping with planning this time around. We had to plan an event that would not only be enjoyable for them, but it would also show that we could handle things after they were gone. It certainly is a big responsibility.
気が重いです。私はそんな器じゃないのに。
Olga didn't seem very confident. Having been Orihime's assistant all this time, however, I was pretty sure she could handle it. Olga wasn't the only one being put on the spot, though. All of us first and second years would have to do our best. Once the main agenda was finished, everyone broke off into groups to discuss smaller tasks. Noriko from Ama was talking with Keisuke and Narue about the blog. Members from the other 3 schools didn't have much to discuss, so they were just chatting over tea and snacks.
これが今日のために用意したお菓子なの？
She hadn't touched them so far, but Orihime finally had time for a breather.
はい、いろいろ迷ったんですが、やはり定番のものの方が良いかと思いまして。
While Orihime and I had been at the planetarium, Honoka had apparently been going around in search for something to bring today. He ended up going to quite a few shops and had chosen a rather elegant-looking assortment of baked sweets. There were financiers, madeleines, Florentine biscuits, and small leaf-shaped pies. It was impressive just to look at.
このマドレーヌ、美味しいです。
Are they really that good?
タクト君も食べてみて。なんだか高級な味だよ。
Sweets like this seemed made for beautiful girls like Saya. They'd just be wasted on somebody like me.
なかなかね。上質な素材を使っているわ。はい。パティシエールがこだわりのある方だそうで。
Honoka reached over and elegantly poured some tea into Orihime's cup. As always, they looked like 2 high-class ladies. The zine would make a nice picture. Why don't you give that a try, Saya?
無理だよ。私がやったらすぐにボロが出ちゃうよ。
I'm sure it's not just looks that make one a high-class lady, huh? I guess it's not just looks that make one a high-class lady, huh?
そうだよ。私は雑庶民なんだから。
I wasn't sure someone of her appearance could be called a commoner, though. The first time I had seen her eyes, they had reminded me of the striking colors of Albireo. I had wondered what star this princess had come from. Oh, it's already this late. I realized that it was already evening. More than half of the members had left.
アキト君、今日アルバイトは？
Not until tonight, but I was going to head home a little early. Miss Miyato was probably starting to complain about now. I should probably get going.
このままではいけませんわ。
I heard Orihime mutter this under her breath. Why is that?
受験に備えるべく、それぞれの学校が忙しくなるのはわかります。合宿旅行まで大きなイベントはなし。それも仕方ありません。ですが、せっかく見出した導きの灯火をここで途切れさせるわけには参りません。北極星を失えば我々の後悔もまた失意のうちに終焉を迎えることでしょう。すなわち、
Orihime suddenly pointed at Saya, who reflexively stood up.
我々は勇士を募り、勇気を持って前へと進まねばなりません。イヤソンとアルゴーの船員たちのように。違いますか？いえ、違わないと思います。
Ask what she wants first! Don't agree! Saya just nodded her head. She seemed completely overcome by the intensity of Orihime's words.
では、ついてきてくれますね。
She gave a warm, motherly smile as she extended her hand towards Saya. Saya timidly reached her hand out to take
会
Orihime's.
長、それは勧誘という名の脅迫ですよ。違うわよね。
It is. Saya is completely terrified. She was trembling and looked about ready to cry.
無理にとは言ってないわよ。言っていたら犯罪です。ごめんなさい、さやさん。つい興奮してしまいましたわ。
Orihime finally returned to her normal self. She was normally quite calm, but once she got started, she could be quite forceful. You had to be careful.
それで、一体どうしたいのですか？元会長よ。
Let her finish.
一体どうしたいのですか？会長は。では、白鳥元会長にお聞きします。一体何をしでかそうと目論んでいるのですか？
Hold on. Where the fuck's the goddamn tissue box? There we go. It's that tissue box, but it's just a pack. Would be nice to just have like a big ass box. Why do I suddenly have Detective Conan music stuck in my head? By the way, the American name for Detective Conan is fucking stupid. Did you know that the American name they chose to call Detective Conan was, Case Closed? Case Closed. That sounds like some cheaply made crime drama that, like, my mother would watch. Which is sad. Anyways, Honoka seemed to be getting upset with Orihime, but that wasn't what I was worried about. The main question was what Orihime had been trying to do.
吉岡が定例会にしようと言い出してくれたことには感謝しているわ。これでむつら星の会は途切れない。受験で慌ただしくなるから落ち着くのを待とうというのも理解できるわ。ただ、私にはもう残された時間は少ないのよ。
Orihime had been the only third-year member at today's meeting. She also wouldn't be able to help with the planning of the observation camp. She must have been feeling left out. There was no way Orihime would be able to sit back and wait quietly until
で
then.
すから私は言ったんです。卒業するまで会長でいればいいのにと。
If she were to remain the president, she could use that to be a bit more demanding of us too. She'd done that on more than a few occasions in the past.
そうはいかないわ、吉岡。それはあなたのためにならない。私が卒業してからでは遅いのよ。卒業する前にきちんとバトンを渡しておかないと。はい。それは理解できます。
These two seem like they had the same conversation a few times already. And this was the conclusion they had finally reached.
むつら星の会はしばらく活動休止。それに異を唱えるつもりはないわ。ただし、私がその歩みを止める必要もない。むつら星の会が休止している間、独自に活動するべきだと思います。これは私のわがままです。一天文好き女子が勝手にやるだけのこと。そんな私に付き合ってやろうという水教なものはいませんか？
She extended her hand once
喜
again.
んで。
Without hesitation, Honoka took her hand.
私の手はまだ空いていますわよ。
She extended her other hand towards me. I've been told I'm pretty eccentric. I took Orihime's offered hand.
私も。
Saya hastily placed her hand on top of mine. You sure are curious.
ダメかな。いいえ、ダメなんてとんでもない。大歓迎ですわ。我々は水教者の集まりですから。
Eccentrics. Curious. I think that's perfect. It wouldn't be interesting otherwise. That is the one reason that the Pleiades became the giant monstrosity that it was, though the main reason had been the size of the Ancient One's evil eye. We had also been excited about seeing what a Dobsonian telescope made with a mirror that big could do. I don't know what we plan on doing, but let's make it something interesting. If you can promise that much, I would be happy to become an Argonaut and accompany Jason on this journey. The Argonauts were 50 heroes who set sail on an adventure with Jason aboard the Argo in search of the legendary Golden Fleece. How many of them died again? Hold on. Oh, I think I'm thinking Odysseus, like where basically almost everyone died. How many of the How many of the Argonauts died? The crew of the Argonauts, let's see. During or after the journey? Hold on. My question has not been answered. Okay, I can't find it right now. But oh well. I do know that I think everybody in Odysseus' crew died though. So yeah. Overcoming many difficulties, Jason and his crew safely traversed the Black Sea and arrived at Colchis, where they found that which they sought. I mean Colchis, or how the fuck you fucking pronounce that. Our pact had been made. Orihime and I shook hands firmly. Honoka looked on from side in satisfaction. That just left one another. Saya was the most composed of us and had asked the most crucial question. Just Honoka, just like not Honoka, Orihime just for a bit, like. You know what? I have no fucking idea. Orihime had been forceful enough to drag us into her scheme, but it turned out that she hadn't thought about it past that point. We ended up not coming up with any ideas and had to call it a night. However, Orihime wasn't about to call it quits there. Once you threw coal on the fire, she was a runaway train. That was just the kind of person Orihime was. Koron was explaining what kind of person she thought Orihime was. Orihime turned to look at Honoka for backup. I gave Orihime a "what are you gonna do after that" look. So I couldn't hold it in any longer and let out a laugh. So if Orihime was a regular train, Hikari was a bullet train. I don't know why, but I adore Korona's pose right now. Just like the... Apparently Konoha was still holding Hikari in high esteem. She was completely opposite from the way she regarded Saya. It was the complete opposite from the way she regarded Saya. Konoha had no desire to go anywhere near Saya, yet she was very friendly towards Orihime.
姫ちゃんってば今日もいい匂い。そう、光栄だわ。
Orihime kept her composure as she accepted Konoha's playful attitude. I guess that was to be expected of someone with her level of dignity.
ところで、空見くんのアルバイトは何時に終わりますの？20時までだそうです。
I was working, so Saya answered for me. I usually worked until the store closed, but I had asked the store manager to let me go a little early. The girls had come over and were waiting for me after all. He wanted to talk about yesterday's developments, but I had to work another shift. They had all decided that if that was the case, they would come and wait for me to get off work. This way. Once I finished my shift, I showed them all up to my room. Store manager had said that we could use the dining area, but I didn't think we should take over the space for such a long time. Saya was hesitant to come in as everybody else entered. She didn't want to stand in everybody's way for personal reasons though, and eventually gave in and joined us.
何かありましたの？ここで空見くんに手ごめにされかけたとか。ありそう。
Korona, do you even understand what that means?
エッチなことでしょ？そのくらいわかってるの。
Saying that had apparently embarrassed her because her cheeks turned red.
そういうのじゃないですから。光が入ってないのに私が入ったら悪いかなって。特に気にせず入ってしまった身としてはなんだか申し訳ないとしか言いようが。全然気にしないでください。気にしないのはアキトくんもだよ。これは私と光の問題なんだから。
Must be some kind of girl's code, I guess. Now you're making me feel uncomfortable in my own room. Saya sure was apologizing a lot.
あなたも立っていないでこたつに入ったらいかがですか？
Orihime spoke as she sat down and put her legs under the blanket that was covering the table.
冷たいですわ。なんですこれは。先日のと全く違いますけれど。
It still needs to be turned on.
スイッチ入れなきゃ冷たいよ。
Korona reached over and flipped the switch on.
するからぬくぬくになるまでもうちょっと待ってね。待ちきれませんわ。
Orihime took Korona's advice and got out from underneath the table. As she waited patiently, me and the others each took a seat. Heated tables are the best.
失礼します。会長、寒いなら入った方が。ずるいですわ、皆さん。
Because she had gotten up, Orihime ended up losing her spot.
私の入る場所は。
The table was square and we had 5 people. It was like musical chairs that Orihime had lost.
コロナさん、私の膝の上に乗りませんか？
Orihime had picked her because she was the smallest one here.
姫ちゃんのお膝、
There.
乗る乗る。
She agreed without any resistance and waved Orihime over.
あったかですわ。
Orihime looked elated to finally be under the warm table. Korona, on the other hand, looked the exact opposite of pleased. Yeah, there's probably a bit of a problem with, like, you know, sitting upright. Probably sitting like that. Hime! Whoops. For some reason, I thought that was just him screaming at her, like, "You're killing her!" So, let's give her again.
姫ちゃんのおっぱい、重い。
I'd heard rumors that the girls with large breasts would put them on top of desks and other surfaces without thinking about it. And the rumors had been true! Orihime's breasts were sitting on top of Korona's head!
ごめんなさい。でも、
There was nothing she could do. There was nowhere else to put her breasts with Korona on her lap.
おとなしく出ていきますわ。
Looking disappointed, Orihime stood up once more.
会長、横に詰めればなんとか。いいんです。私にはこたつに入る資格などきっと存在していないのよ。
Now she was just sulking. We weren't going to get anywhere if this kept up. Here, you can have my spot. I got up and gestured her over.
そんな家主の方をないがしろにするわけには。
You have it backwards. As the host, I can't let one of my guests feel uncomfortable during their stay. I tried to persuade her to sit, but she was being stubborn. Besides, I'm the only guy here. I wouldn't want to make anybody uncomfortable by accidentally touching their legs. My table wasn't a very big one. With 4 people using it, legs were bound to start touching each other.
今の時点で結構ぶつかってるしね。あ、これは天の川鞘の足？てい！てい！
That's Honoka.
それは私の足です。ああ、ごめん、ほのほの。
The three of them started playing footsie in earnest.
楽しそうですわね。
Please take my spot. I think if I sat there now, I would be accused of sexual harassment.
ありがとう。それでは失礼して。
Orihime finally took a seat on the floor where I had been.
あったかですわ。
So I'm guessing Orihime is here, Saya is here, Korona is here, and Honoka is here.
女性は足が冷えますからね。ガキトくん、狭いけど隣来る？そんなとこ入るならコロナの方がいいよ。モテモテですね。
Situations with the seating arrangement had caused some problems, but now that everybody was warm, things had settled down.
では、あまり遅くならないうちに始めてしまいましょう。
Did you guys already explain what we discussed yesterday to Korona?
一通り聞かせてもらったよ。でも、コロナさんは受験生なのでしょ？こんなところで遊んでいていいのですか
Actually, I asked her brother Takiichi about that.
タケ君はなんで
He said not to let her join us or his mom was going to kill him.
お兄ちゃんね。やはり受験勉強を優先すべきだと思いますわ。時間に余裕のある者のみが参加すべきです。なんといっても我ら暇人集団ですから。
He said it like it was something to be proud of.
暇人ではなく水郷者だったと思いますが、似たようなものよ。
I don't really want to be seen as lazy. It was true that we had a lot of free time, but that might not be seen as a good thing.
とにかくコロナさんには迎えを呼びますので、今日のところはお帰りなさい。はーい、わかりました。
With that, we decided to remove Korona from our little group. He wasn't happy about having to come, but when I called Takeichi, he rushed over. He probably wanted to avoid any chance of his parents yelling at him about his sister. Why are you here? You're endangering me. So much warmer under the table. I felt bad about Korona, but once she left, I took her spot under the table.
元会長、ふざけないでください。あら、もしかして吉岡の足だった？
No, that was definitely mine.
大成功。
Apparently, she'd been aiming for me.
吉岡、一体何を見ていますの？
Glanced over and saw that Honoka was looking down at a scrap of paper.
チラシですね。ここに落ちていたものです。ああ、それ先日プラネタリウムでもらったものね。
It was the program schedule I'd brought back. It showed the schedule for the whole
こ
month.
ちらの特別開館日というのは何かイベントでもやっているのでしょうか？
Orihime answered her question. I started thinking to myself as he spoke. I was trying to come up with something that we could do with Orihime that people who liked the stars would enjoy. Planetarium. I'm sure there had been people who weren't all that interested in stars at the show, but everybody who'd come out to that theater had been smiling. That place would make anybody fall in love with the stars. What if we organized an event at the planetarium? We would be able to do it. We would do it ourselves in a way that we could all enjoy. It would be like a little star festival. Everybody looked at me in surprise. Their expressions quickly turned to looks of delight.
それよ、星の祭典。これまでにない取り組みなので面白そうです。プラネタリウムって借りられるの？そうなんだ。すごいね。
Everybody leaned in closer as we continued talking. Our faces got closer and closer as we began to bounce ideas off each other excitedly. Off each other
せっ
excitedly.
かくやるのならプログラムも自作したいわね。参加者はどうしましょう？ ターゲットを絞った方がいいと思います。
ここにいるメンバーだけでできるのかな。加納さんたちにも手伝ってもらえたらいいんだけど。
There was still a lot to talk about, but conversation plunged forward under the assumption that the event at the planetarium was what we were going to be doing. There's still too much about the planetariums that I don't know. I should probably do some research
勉
first.
強ね。わかったわ。
We also need to find out if we'll even be able to rent the planetarium in the first place. This month is already full.
問い合わせは早急にしましょう。ですが、直接先方と話し合うべきかと。
I think it would be best to decide who we're doing this for first. It'll be impossible to have an event like this with just the four of us. We should ask the rest of the Six Stars Club for help.
部外の人も手伝ってもらえると思うよ。
We still only had the basic outline of a plan, but we were beginning to get an idea of where we would start.
これですわ。この高揚感がたまりません。
Moving things forward, rushing onwards without looking back, it got your heart beating in an exciting way. I did have a pang of regret that Hikari wasn't here to enjoy it with us, but it only lasted for a moment. Even without Hikari here, our guiding star was shining brightly. Vega, the brightest star in the constellation Lyra. One of the 22 first magnitude stars, part of the Summer Triangle and famous Tanabata Festival. Orihime, huh? Vega was also called Orihime in Japan. Glowing bluish-white, this star would guide you as far as you wanted to go. Couldn't help but think so. And now move the damn thing. I thought I could get away with it. There we go. There we go. Now it's not covering the screen on either side. And I'm also nice and centered now. Ooh. I don't know why I'm doing this. The next day I sent a message out to the Six Stars Club in a group chat.
へえ、プラネタリウムのイベントか。面白そうじゃない。
時間があるときはぜひ手伝わせてください。
プログラムも自作なんですよね。そっちなら協力できると思います。
コロナも手伝う。
Everyone seemed to like the idea of an event at the planetarium. At this rate, we wouldn't have to worry about being short-handed at all. Hikari just suddenly chimes in, "That's unfair! I wanna fucking join!"
たく、コロナのやつめ。
Takichi sounded upset as he read the messages on my phone. Don't worry, I won't let Corona get
頼む
involved.
ぞ。うちの母ちゃんおっかねえのはお前も知ってるだろ。
I sure do. It gave me shivers just to think about it. There had been one time a while back when we had to take Corona out. Her mom had been terrifying when she found out. And I've been yelled at like that in my entire life.
あいつもかわいそうに。
A little sympathetic, are we?
ちょっとな。過度な期待に応えるからああなるんだ。
Takichi didn't say any more about his family life than that.
コロナの件は頼むぞ。代わりに俺が少しは手伝ってやるから。
Thanks, Take. Sorry you had to be dragged into this.
なーに。俺が手伝えば、なるえちゃんとの接点も増えるしな。
Oh, I get it now. You're just in it for a girl.
うるせえ。お前こそなんとかしろよ。相変わらず周りに女ばっか集めて。
It's not like I'm doing it on purpose. Besides, there are no girls here right now.
へいへい。じゃあそろそろ部活行くわ。何かあったら連絡してくれ。
Takichi got up and left the astronomy room. It was time for me to head out too.
あ、かよいずまちゃんまた来てる。やっほー。どうもこんにちは。
Oh, would you look at that? Oh, hey, it's the commuter wife like always. Wait! There's two now!
さやさんのお知り合い？あ、いえ、そういうわけでは。あれ？なんかすっごい美人がもう一人増えてるんだけど。ごきげんよう。ごきげんよう？
I like how it's just like, instead of like, I feel like it isn't supposed to be like, I'm doing well, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's like, That's a polite way of talking.
ねえねえ、かよいずまちゃん。こっちの子何なの？名工の子みたいだけど。
I call bullshit! How the fuck do you see her uniform? She has a coat on!
かよいずま2号ですわ。
That's bad.
2号さん来たー
1号ともども、よろしくお願いしますわ。
こちらこそ、よろしくです。かよいずまちゃん、2号さんなんかに負けちゃダメだよ。私は、応援してるから。
Well, sorry to tell you this, Hoshino Daiichi girl A, but in this round at least she'll lose. But I can't wait for the flack I'll get from Sol for this. Just for saying that.
はい、ありがとうございます。それじゃね、バイバーイ
Hi guys, sorry for the wait. I walked up just as another girl from my school was
こん
leaving.
にちは、空見くん。
そんなに急いで来なくてもよかったのに。
These two were just as calm as they always were. So, what was all that about just now? Commute wife number 2?
良い相性だと思いませんか？さやさんとお揃いですもの。光栄ですわ。
でも、かよいずまって、あきとうくんの奥さんって感じだから。
Hold on. There we go. Saya started blushing as she struggled to get the words out. She looked a little out of sorts, so I decided to throw her a line. Saya often waits for me here and brings me little presents. That's where she had gotten the name.
今日はクリームシチューだよ。ご飯にかけてもいいように、トロトロだから。
Oh, stew! That sounds really good! Thanks, Saya!
シチューをかけるんですの？
Orihime was staring blankly at our little exchange. Suppose it's not the most refined way to eat, but it's really good. You pour it over white rice like you would curry.
お母さんはあきとうくんに甘いから、かけられるように濃く作っちゃうんです。
I could feel not only Saya's affection, but her mom's as well! Ah, yes! When Saya's mom were out. Just kidding.
なんだか微笑ましいわね。
Orihime seemed to enjoy the thought as
今
well.
度、白鳥さんもシチューをご飯にかけてみてください。
もちろん、ぜひさせていただくわ。
それじゃあ、あきとくん、私はこれで。
あなたはご一緒しませんの？
Hold on, there we go.
うちの天文部にちょっと用があるんです。
She looked sorry for not being able to join us as she headed back toward her
何
school.
なのかしら？
I'm sure they're busy with a lot of
もし
things.
かして私に内緒のこと？
Something like that. I was being evasive on purpose, so I was actually on her way to meet with the other members to talk about the camp. She also said that she was going to ask the other members of the Seisen Astronomy Club for some illustrations for announcing both events.
理由はなんとなくわかりますけど、寂しいですわね。
I guess you'll just have to be content with spending some time with me today. I'd recently come to realize just how much of a lonely person Orihime was. She'd been growing a little anxious now that Honoka was no longer always with her. Orihime and I had gotten on the bus heading for Harbor Town. We were going to speak with the planetarium about the possibility of renting it. Wonder if they're really going to rent out the whole place for a couple of high school students just to show up, who just show up and ask.
いきなりではないわよ。館長さんにアポイントメントは取っておいたから。
You might have a point.
当たり前の話です。
She said it so casually, but I was actually quite surprised. I was starting to think I wasn't suited to take over Honoka's role.
館長さんに会う前に 軽く下調べをしておきましょう。
What do you
も
mean?
ちろんプラネタリウムを実際に見るのよ。
It had only been last week that we'd seen both shows. That didn't seem to bother Orihime in the least. The two of us soon arrived at Harbour Town. Last time we'd been here, it had been a weekend. It seemed much less crowded
賑
today.
やかなのもいいですけど、これくらいの方が動きやすいわね。
There was only a moderate number of people going about their business. That also meant there probably wouldn't be many food stalls or mascots parading around. But the planetarium isn't very crowded either.
休日だったらアポイントメントも取れなかったでしょう。学生ならではの特権ですわね。
Housewives and students could come this time of day, but it would be hard for somebody with a regular job. That means we need to think about the people who will be able to come on the day of the event.
そういうこと。勉強になりますわ。
There were some things that you just couldn't learn by sitting in a room talking. We may not have thought of this if we had decided to come in person. If we hadn't decided to come in person. Now that we were inside, we were looking for something that would help us with our planning.
客層が違いすぎるわね。
On the weekend, there were a lot of couples and families here. You only see couples and a few students that were probably into astronomy. I only see some couples and a few students that are probably into astronomy. I'm sure there are a lot of women. Do you think there are mostly
ハー
housewives?
バータウンにお買い物に来ている奥様方なのでしょう。
Suppose Harbour Town may attract a lot of sightseers on the weekend, but it was probably just shopping district the rest of the week. What kind of program are we supposed to do for a bunch of housewives?
どうすればよいのかピンときませんわね。
This only increased the number of things we had to worry about. I was still racking my brain for ideas when the lights began to dim. The program was about to start. The program that was about to start was the one with live
ただ
commentary.
いまより北と南それぞれの星座をお送りします。
The program title was the same as before, but because it was a live show, there would probably be some small differences.
南天の星座の中でも注目するのはこちら。ケンタウルスとは上半身が人、下半身が馬という伝説の種族、ケンタウロスのことですが、実はもう一つ、ケンタウロスが描かれている星座があります。
Sagittarius.
それは、いて座。そう、いて座もケンタウロスなんですね。
One of them should be Chiron.
両者は別人の
How
ケ
would
ン
you
タウ
say
ロ
that?
スだそうで
Chiron?
す。いて座のケンタウロスはケイローン。ケンタウルス座のケンタウロスはポラスというそうです。いて座は星座占いでもおなじみの行動12星座の一つ。ですが、ケンタウルス座にも大きな特徴があります。それはこちら。ケンタウルス座アルファ星のリギル・ケンタウルスです。なんと、シリウス、カノープスの次に明るい星なんですよ。もちろん、明るいだけじゃありません。おや、ご存知の方もいらっしゃるようですね。リギル・ケンタウルスは、アルファ・ケンタウリとも呼ばれています。アルファ・ケンタウリは地球から最も近くにある恒星です。その距離、太陽系から 4.39 光年。高速で 4.39 年行けばついてしまうわけです。
Alpha Centauri was probably well known by even people who weren't that into astronomy. They may not know that it is part of the Centaurus constellation, or that it is the third brightest star in the sky, though. So that's Alpha Centauri. Without thinking, I spoke out loud. It was a star that you couldn't see from the northern hemisphere. For those who dreamed of space travel, it was the star system they thought of most. One day, when technology advanced far enough, we would probably set our sights in that direction. Dreams were something that were never ending. For long, I once more became part of the crew aboard a spaceship traveling the galaxy. Just like last time, the hour-long program ended too quickly. I was still overwhelmed by the world of stars that I'd been shown inside and couldn't speak for some time after exiting the planetarium. Ah, what?
ようやく戻ってきたみたいね。
Orihime gave me a knowing smile. Just how long had I been staring off into space?
大丈夫？かなり入り込んでたみたいだけれど。
He's just standing like... Fine, sorry about that.
いいのよ。平気ならそれで。それにしても結構大胆に内容が変わるのね。驚いたわ。
Whoops, it had been roughly the same as last time, but a lot of the stories had stories about them that were told were different.
細かい台本はないのかしら。
They might have an outline to follow and then just improvise the rest. But that's not all.
何か？
The direction they took the show, they were catering to the people who attended. Alpha Centauri was a star that even housewives who weren't interested in astronomy would have heard of. It also tickled the fancy of all the science fiction lovers out there. And yet, the show's extra little tidbits of information were enough to draw the attention of even those who already love astronomy. Like the fact that Alpha Centauri is actually 3 stars. That was interesting. The star system consisted of 2 binary stars, Alpha Centauri A and B, and a third faint star, Alpha Centauri C. Alpha Centauri C was also known as Proxima Centauri, and was actually the closest star to our solar system.
観客の反応を見て調整している風なところもあったわね。
Last time, I thought they were just reading from a script the whole time. Didn't seem that simple, though. They even talked about different stars than last time. Does that mean the projector isn't following a set program?
それすらもアドリブが入ってるってこと？
That was probably what they were doing. They would have to move the projector to show the stars that they were showing the audience. I wasn't sure how much automation there was involved, but somebody probably had to have some level of manual
独
involvement.
自のプログラムを作りたいなんて無謀すぎる夢だったのかしら。
Probably, you might have to prepare to be laughed at. But we have to try first. It's not like you to give up before you even start. I was just as nervous now as Orihime was, but this was one of my jobs now. If Onaga was here, this is probably where she'd give one of her pep talks.
もう私をどんな風に見ているのよ。
The kind that aims for her dreams without wavering, the kind who will find a way past any obstacle in order to achieve
つ
it.
るみくんが言うほどすごい人間ではないと思うけれど、でもあなたがそう思うのなら私も少し頑張ってみようかしら。その気にさせた責任しっかり取ってもらいますからね。
She tried to lighten the mood with a joke and a smile. The massive weight we felt lightened a bit too. I'll be right here with you the whole way. You won't have to make me do anything. I want to do it.
頼りにしているわ。
In between shows, we decided to meet with the director.
はじめまして、当プラネタリウム館長の森田一郎です。
Ah! Why, hello there. His name was written in the center of the business card he handed us. It's nice to meet you. My name is Akito Sorami, head of the astronomy club at Hoshino Daiichi High School.
空見明人くんですか。ご丁寧にどうも。それから、
ご無沙汰しております、森田先生。母がよろしくお伝えするようにと申しておりましたわ。
ご両親はお元気ですか。久しくお会いしておりませんが。
相変わらずの仲良しっぷりで、いつも困らされています。
Whoops. Apparently Orihime and Mr. Morita were acquaintances. Their friendly tone implied as much. Seeing them chat gave me the impression that he was a pretty nice
とこ
guy.
ろで、ご相談いただいた件ですが。
スケジュールはいかがでしょうか。
申し訳ないが、スケジュール以前の問題です。
That was a quick refusal.
それは、どういう。
確かに、当館は地域貢献を目的として、休館日に限り施設を提供することがあります。ですが、その予定は、通常半年から1年前には申し入れがあるものなのですよ。
つまり、急な話すぎると。
その通りです。こちらもただ設備を提供すれば良いというわけにも参りませんので。
Mr. Morita had a point. We just realized ourselves that it takes someone who knows what they're doing. Staff here had to be well trained in order to carry out their highly skilled jobs. Showing up suddenly and asking them to let us do something like this just because we wanted to was a bit absurd.
既存のプログラムを上映するだけでしたら可能です。そのような企画もいくつか行われていますし。
でもそれでは。
天文部の皆さんがイベントを行う。それなのに既存のプログラムを流すだけでは目的や意義も失ってしまいます。違いますか？
Mr. Morita's argument hit home with both Orihime and myself. He had probably taken this fact into consideration when making his decision. He probably just wanted to be polite since Orihime was the daughter of somebody he knew. But that also meant his decision probably struck even harder than if he'd been a stranger. There was no defending against that.
ご理解いただけたようで何よりです。それでは次の開演まで時間もありませんので。
Wait. Mr. Morita had been about to leave, but he stopped and turned to face me. He stared at me with a slight frown on his face. All of his sympathy I'd seen in his eyes as he spoke to Orihime had disappeared.
まだ何か？
Would you please show us your schedule? If there are no available openings, then we won't bother you any longer.
まだ諦めていないのですか？
Giving up and leaving after being told it would be too difficult is something a child would do. If we weren't serious, a simple email would have sufficed. There's a reason we went out of our way to come here to speak with you in person. We came here to negotiate. This man was probably not going to be swayed. He was quite the imposing adult. Yet Orihime had mentioned him before.
でも、昔ながらのこれがいいというファンも多いの。こちらの館長さんもその一人なんです。
You're clearly a scholar as well. I can tell just by seeing how wonderful this planetarium is. It's true that our proposal is rather sudden, and I understand that our request is a bit unreasonable. However, we really wanted to do this. That is why we decided we should come down here to speak with you first. It's like when you have a sudden urge to just pick up your telescope and go somewhere away from the city lights, watch the stars. I'm sure you've experienced that feeling before. That was why I was sure I could get through to him. He would understand if he was really like us.
そうですね。若い頃は私もそうだった。
When it's something you're really passionate about, you can't just sit around. You have to get up and do something, even if that something is a bit
だ
reckless.
から君たちの提案を受け入れろと？それに何の意味があるのです？結果、惨めな思いをするだけだ。
Do you truly believe that? You may think that this is reckless now, but you can be sure that it won't turn out to be great. But there's all just words right now. Let us prove to you how serious we are about this. We could only understand the situation and determine what the other party wanted, we would be able to figure out what it was we should be doing. We can write up an event proposal for you. Please reserve judgment until you see it. Please, will you at least consider it?
お願いします。
Orihime and I both bowed our heads as low as they would go. If we would show him something out of of real substance, not just a sentimental argument, I was sure he'd come around.
二人とも頭を上げなさい。
では、
早合点しないように。私は甘くありませんよ。ですが、あなた方の作る企画に興味が湧きました。現役の天文部員が何を目指し、何をなそうというのか。それは私にとっても非常に興味深い。ですので、その企画書を作ってきなさい。イベント用の枠も確保しておきましょう。
As Mr. Morita said this, he pulled a small notepad out of his pocket.
そうですね。来月の17日、月曜日なら予定も空いています。準備を含めると、最低でも今月中には企画書を見せてもらわねば間に合いません。可能ですか？
He gave us a sharp, testing look. I almost faltered under his gaze, but I was in high spirits now. It hadn't been a one-sided argument. This was results of two adults meeting at the negotiating table.
可能です。我々なら必ずお見せできます。
そちらの彼はどうです？
We'll be sure to have the proposal to draft the proposal to you on time.
よろしい。では企画書をよろしくお願いします。
Mr. Morita nodded once, then turned and headed back towards the office. As we walked out of the planetarium, I felt like I could finally breathe again.
話には伺っていたけれど、本当に厳しい方でしたわね。
I turned to look at Orihime. That had been extremely stressful for the both of us. It felt kind of like we had both survived the
本
battle.
当に助かったわ。ありがとう、サラミくん。
No, all I did was buy us a little extra time.
それでもよ、私ならあのまま引き下がっていたかも。
The astronomy community was full of kind people. People knew from experience that they needed to help one another and work together. Guess it could be considered a cooperative effort of sorts. That was just one of the reasons that people accepted Orihime's overbearing personality.
私
Personality.
打たれ弱いのかもしれないわね。
I accidentally said personalities like she's got split personalities. She'd probably never experienced such a severe counteroffensive to her requests before. There had been a time when I wasn't sure that the Six Stars Club would be able to make a comeback, but everybody had ended up lending a hand.
それに比べて、サラミくんは強いわ。
In the past, I had to learn how to take it out of necessity. When I'd lost my parents in the accident, my life had been torn apart in a single night. Orihime had probably never had to deal with anything like that before. She'd most likely been raised in a healthy, loving family. The two of us are different. There's no need for us to be the same. It's because of the fact that we are different that we are able to accomplish different things. Everyone has a role to fill. Isn't it better that way? It's not about who is better. It's about what each individual can contribute.
私にもできることがあるかしら。
Orihime, you are the only reason any of us have made it this far in the first place. The revival of the Six Stars Club, the creation of the Pleiades One. You're even the reason I started looking at the stars again. That was an indisputable fact. She was the one who had guided me to where I was now. You are a leader. You should never lose sight of what it is you want to do. Making that a reality is my job. I'll be the one to fight off any opposition.
まるでお姫様を守るナイトね。
Every man is capable of stepping up and being a knight if there is a princess in need. That's just how it works. It wasn't until the very end that I started feeling a little embarrassed. It started to feel a little like a confession of love. It was entirely possible that she could get the wrong impression.
ありがとう、サラミくん。あなたにそんな風に言われてしまったら、私もお姫様になるしかないわね。覚悟を決めました。私は逃げません。あなたを信じて前だけを見ていきます。だからお願い。弱い私だけれど、ずっと守ってくださいね。
This is fucking adorable. She took my hand as she asked this of me. Strangely, that made me think about the first time that we had met. Now that our business was taken care of, we decided to head home before it got too late. What the fuck is that we doing? We were rocking with the bus as it rattled down the road. Hey, are you sure this is alright?
質問の意味がわからないのだけれど。
This is the bus for Mikazuki Station. I wasn't heading in direction. It wasn't heading in direction of Mako
構
Academy.
わないわ。一つ気になることがありますの。
She didn't elaborate on the point any more than that.
次は星の駅前。星の駅前でございます。お降りの方はブザーでお知らせください。
If you're going to transfer, this is your stop.
いいのいいの。
Orihime looked like she was enjoying this. The fact that I had no idea what was going on was probably spurring her on even more. When the bus arrived at Mikazuki Station, we both got off.
もう真っ暗ね。冬は日が沈むのが早いわ。
So what are you doing here?
忘れてしまったの？ほら、あなたが持っているそれよ。シチューかけご飯、味見させてくださいな。
Exactly how exactly had this happened? I couldn't help but wonder as much as I spooned the stew Sai had given me into a bowl and placed it in the microwave. I don't remember ever saying that I would give her any, but I couldn't just tell her to leave now. There's only enough of one, you know. Actually, Sa's mom was always really generous, so it was pretty close to enough for two people. She knew how much I liked her stew. I loved curry as well, but they were quite different. I had a special place for both of them. What is she thinking? I hope she realizes what kind of signal she's sending. I was nervous after the way things had gone in Harbor Town. I was going to be alone with Orihime in my tiny little room. Of course I was going to get nervous.
こたつ、幸せですわ。
When I came back to my room, I saw that Orihime had made herself right at home. The appeal of a heated table just couldn't be resisted.
おかえりなさい。いい匂いがするわね。
She remained under the table as she spoke. I set the stew on the table and sat down across from
こ
her.
れがさやさんのお宅のシチューですか。
Couldn't put it on the rice yet. We had separate plates for that.
確かにかなりドロドロしていますわね。
She just uses the store-bought stuff and then makes it thicker than they suggest. The flavor is probably stronger than usual as well. I'd had her stew many times before. I thought the consistency and taste were just right to go perfectly with rice. Help yourself. The rice has been in the warmer for a while, but it's still better than the instant stuff.
こちらにシチューをかければいいの？
Yep, take as much as you like. I couldn't believe I was feeding Orihime stew and rice, and I bet her parents would be just displeased at the time I introduced her to cup noodles.
では、まずは試しにちょっとだけ。
She took a single spoonful and put it on her rice.
いただきます。
She sealed herself and brought a spoonful of stew and rice to her mouth.
これはさやさんのお母様は元シェフか何かかしら？
Nope, she's just a regular person. I didn't know her work history, but I was pretty sure she'd never been a chef. Her cooking was good, but that was just because she did it a lot.
これだけの味が出せ
Did
る
a
な
lot
ら
of it.
お店を開いてもやっていけそうな気がしますけど。
This is just from a box you can get at the store. It would probably taste the same if Saya made it.
日本の食品メーカーのレベルはものすごいですわね。
I can't deny that. I myself took advantage of the simple, high-quality, pre-made foodstuffs quite often. How does it taste with the rice?
最高ですわ。
That was wrong. Fuck. Anyways, There you go. After tasting the first bite, she started spooning more stew onto her rice. It's faster if you do this. I picked up the bowl and started pouring stew directly onto the rice. It was much faster than taking it one spoonful at a time. Orihime was enjoying herself again. If she liked this, I bet she would have a blast if I took her camping. Oops, she took out her phone and snapped a photo. Girls these days wanted to take pictures of everything. Wait a minute! I wasn't fast enough to stop her and my phone vibrated with a new message notification. Crap, it was too late. Anybody who's been here before would know immediately where the picture had been taken. Last time it had only been the astronomy room at school. But this was my room. This wasn't going to be good. Huh? I thought the others would start replying right away, but the phone remained silent. I don't understand. Did she only send it to him? Did she just decide just fuck with him? Looked at my phone again. I realized why right away. You only sent it to me? Seemed like she'd take my feelings into consideration. Guess Orihime had a sensitive side to her as well. But there's not really any point in sending it to me, is there? Not with the members of the 6 Stars Club. With just me. That made me really happy. That's a fucking cutie. This goddamn cutie. After we finished eating... Fuck! After she didn't finish eating, she didn't stay long before she decided to head home. That wasn't long before the bus would show up. That meant we didn't have much time left to chat. See you tomorrow. We need to get to work on our proposal. Don't worry about it. I'm having a lot of fun. Orihime gave me a blank look. How did you think I was a masochist or something? Aren't you having fun too? Orihime gave me another blank look that was even more pronounced than before. It doesn't matter how tough things get. If it's something you love, you can have fun doing it. If it's something you love, you'll have fun doing it. Okay, I'll stop. I can't do the Joy Wheeler face. Kunai with Jane! Anyways, I feel the same way. Now the question was how to convince Mr. Morita. Hold on, what was that line? There you go. Just thinking about it got me feeling depressed. Despite that, I had a strange feeling of enjoyment. There's still like only a bit after the halfway point. It was after school when I got a message from the club members working on the plans for the observation camp. Horaka sent the address. See, that's not a bad spot. I was only looking at pictures, but it seemed like a pretty nice place. It was most likely a spot meant for students to use on retreats and stuff, but it somehow gave off a high-class vibe like Meiko. Ah, that's why. I was a little concerned about the price as well. That was probably going to be the #1 obstacle.
空気も美味しそう。
山
I had just made a passing comment, and everybody was now focused on it. In the photos they had online, you could clearly see lush green mountains behind the building.
雪は降らないんでしょうか。
Even I hastily opened up my map
近く
application.
にスキー場がありますね。
Just like she said, there was a ski resort marked on the map not too far away. Whoops.
雪山じゃん。どうすんの
This was just how things always seemed to go. Right when we were about to find a place to stay, a new problem emerged. All the students going about their business at Hoshino Daiichi kept sneaking glances at my direction. Whoops, I guess we're her now. I guess that was to be expected when there was one single girl wearing a uniform from a different school.
さやさんはよく平気でいられますわね。
She looked graceful on the outside, but she must be made of harder stuff on the inside. She always seemed so sure of herself.
あ、2号さんだ。
One of the girls sounded surprised as she saw me. It was probably the girl I'd met the day
ご
before.
きげんよう。
I smiled and nodded a casual greeting.
ねえねえ、2号さんって
かよいずまちゃんの新たなライバル。かよいずま2号さんだよ。
なんで2号はさん付けなわけ
だって名工だよ。お嬢様だよ。それにおっぱいだって大きいし。
I like her, she's just basically, the titties though! Like that's basically her like her argument here. But the titties though!
おっぱいか。そりゃ、かよいずまちゃんも強敵だね。
あの子、アイドルみたいに可愛いけど、胸はないもんね。
Yo, you really just gotta rail on her like that.
男はおっぱいに弱いもんな。
I could eat everything. Other than my chest, though, I was pretty sure that Saya was more feminine than I was, but I couldn't blame them.
ねえねえ、2号さん。かよいずま1号ちゃんは一緒じゃないの？
彼女は別に用があるそうですので。
ってことは、抜け駆けし放題か。
うわ、肉食系女子だ。
肉食かどうかはわかりませんけれど、かよいずまらしく差し入れは用意してきましたのよ。
I held up my package to show them.
何持ってきたの？
カツサンドですわ。
確かに肉だ。男が超好きそうなメニュー。
やばいよ、かよいずまちゃん。2号さんに取られちゃうよ。
Still nothing. Orihime was supposed to come over to my school today to talk about the planetarium event. I told her to text me when she got here, but I hadn't heard anything yet. That's when there was a knock at my door. Come in.
失礼いたします。
I have expected somebody else, but it was Orihime. I thought you were going to text me when you were outside.
案内していただきましたので。
He said it like it wasn't a big
連れ
deal.
てきたのは俺だからな。
Agichi popped his head into the room from behind Orihime. Take it, thanks.
これっきりにしてくれよ。廊下で軽くパニックになってたんだからな。
A panic?
途中まで女子の皆さんに案内していただきましたの。
平気そうに話してるが、ありゃ10人はいたぞ。
Jesus Christ! I mean, she has charisma, I
き
guess.
っと名工学院の制服が珍しかっただけでしょう。
That was probably part of it. But I doubt that was the only
そんな
reason.
わけで、俺が白鳥さんを救出し、ここまで連れてきたわけだ。感謝しろよ。
Thanks, I remember this. Taka had probably seen that she was in trouble and couldn't just leave her. He may not look it, but he was actually quite a helpful guy.
それじゃ、約束の物を。
わかっていますわ。
She opened the package she was carrying and handed Takichi something to white.
マジうまそう。いっただき。
What is
カ
that?
ツサンドです。草壁くんをこれで買収したのよ。
And I was thinking that you were just being a nice guy!
悪い悪い。いやー、カツサンドくれるって言うからよ。男子は勝てないだろう、カツサンドには。
I probably couldn't. Knowing that they were made for somebody else would make it awkward, though.
空見くんもどうぞ。
Thank you. Couldn't resist the temptation and went ahead and took one. Took one bite, savoring the contrast of flavors between the thick pork cutlet and the lightly toasted bread. The sauce was wonderful too. What is this? This isn't like any Ha! What is this? Isn't like any cutlet sandwich I've ever had before. You gotta realize at this point, despite me only going for like despite the video only being 2 hours at this point, to me it's like I've been recording for 3 hours with like going turbo for the first hour. For the second hour, I mean. So my throat is sufficiently wrecked. I was actually rather surprised by the taste. It really was delicious. Since when could you get cutlet sandwiches that were this good?
大判のとは団地のうまさだな。さすが名工のお嬢だ。
手作りすると大体こうなるらしいですわ。
You mean you don't know? Sounded like she was just
お
guessing.
母様の手作りなんです。自分ではさすがにちょっと。
I guess Orihime wasn't a cook then. But it wasn't that she couldn't make anything, though. It was just that her mom was probably more
自
experienced.
作でないと通い妻失格ということはありませんわよね。
The stuff Sa brings is made by her mom, too.
ちょっと待て。なんだよ通い妻って。
通い妻2号ですわ。1号は
Taka just like Taka just gotta be looking over at him like. Get the fuck over here. Come on.
アキト、てめえ
Takeichi suddenly threw his arm around my neck and put me in a headlock. Oh, stop it! What are you doing?
調子に乗りやがって
Ah! After thrashing me about for a bit, Takeichi finally headed off to
大丈夫
practice.
ですの？
Orihime sounded a little worried as she came to check on me. She leaned forward with an intense look on her face. Orihime, you're a little close.
頭蓋骨を目いっぱい締め付けられたんです。心配して当然ですわ。
I wish she would have been more worried when it was actually happening.
カツサンド食べられます？痛みがひどいなら持ち帰りにしても。
There's a thing like being too in pain to eat. No, don't worry about me, I can still eat. The sandwiches were still a little warm. It was probably best to eat them now anyway. I got a couple drinks for us before sitting down again. Orihime's mother's cutlet sandwiches really were delicious though. We sort of got lost enjoying them for a little while.
あんなカツサンド初めて食べましたわ。
あ？
もっと早くに作ってくださればよかったのに。相変わらず意地悪な人です。
Somehow I got the feeling that this wasn't the case.
知り合いの男子に差し入れを持っていくと伝えたら、お母様がものすごい気合を入れてしまいまして。
Like her mom just like, time to fucking step it up. That sounds like a mom, alright. It's the same the first time a guy brings a girl home with him. In order to make the girl feel welcome, the mother will go out of her way to prepare all sorts of food. I guess even Orihime's mom was a lot like other normal moms.
おかん？
You know, like the strong motherly type.
うちのお母様、見た目だけは上品なんですが、性格の方がちょっと。
I wouldn't be surprised if Orihime's good looks were the only thing she inherited from her mom. We'd gotten a little sidetracked with the sandwiches, but we soon started talking about the event.
必要になるのはプラネタリウムの運営サイドに提出する企画書となりますが。
We need to figure out where to start. Without that, I feel like we're just wandering aimlessly.
とっかかりと言いますと。
Yeah, we should figure out what our main priority is first.
それはもちろん楽しいイベントの開催。そして来てくれたお客さんがみんな星を好きになってくれることですわ。
That would be the ideal outcome. Getting more people interested in astronomy is one of Orihime's main reasons for doing what she does. Yes, but how do we go about doing that? What kind of event would have that effect?
そうですわね。
Our conversation was starting to get rather vague. We weren't getting anywhere like this. Let's try out something different. What you were just saying is the ideal outcome of our event. That should be the case as long as the event is a success. Here's what I think. This is your event, Orihime. You're going to be planning it. You're going to be performing it. You don't know what it will be about or who it's going to be for yet. But it's your plan. Don't you think it would be best to have an event that is full of the things that you would like to do? Having a successful event where a lot of people show up and enjoy themselves would be great. But I wasn't sure that we could really say we accomplished our goal if we didn't do it the way that we wanted to.
私のしたいことですか?
What exactly is it that you want to use the planetarium for? To do, I mean, not for. Please tell me. Orihime answered. She only had 2 more months until she was going to graduate. If there was anything left that she really wanted to do before then, I wanted her to figure out what it was.
こんな時、原点に帰るのが良いのでしょうね。
When people worried or lost their way, they always returned to where they started. For me, my starting point was back when Saikari and I had been writing that observation journal for the Mikazuki Astronomy Club. Might even go further than that, to the first time Hikari and I had used the telescope my father had given me to see the stars up close.
私が星を好きになったのは、お母様の影響があったからというのは、以前お話ししたと思います。
Yeah. The two of us had been holed up here, polishing the mirror for the Pleiades 1. That was when Orihime had told me how she had started watching the stars. When she was a little girl, her mother had told her stories on the legends behind the constellations. That's how she developed an interest. Now, the older student had taken her to an observation event one time, and that had been the first time she'd used a telescope. She'd said that was the moment her world changed. She realized how vast the universe was, and considered where the light she saw was coming from.
先輩に導かれて、私は天文の世界に入った。宇宙を、銀河を、その深淵に触れたいと思うようになったの。先輩に出会わなかったら、今の私はなかったと思う。だけど、お母様が作ってくれた下地もまた無視することはできない。私はお母様のおかげで星が好きな子になったから。夜空の星々に思いを馳せる喜びを教えてくれたのは紛れもなくお母様だったから。先輩がしてくれたことはむつら星の会ですればいい。私の後を継いでくれる吉岡に託せばいい。
Yeah, probably that. Anyways,
今の私がすべきは、きっとお母様がたどった道を行くこと。星座の物語を伝えることで、星に興味を持ってもらいたい。
Honestly, in that sense, Orihime is probably like the best character for me in this game, just because, you know, I'm a myth buff. I'm a buff when it comes to the mythology. Anyways, Orihime's feelings have been put into words and taken on shape. Orihime could definitely ignite people's curiosity with the way she told the stories of the constellations.
どうかしら、分かってもらえた?
Yes, it makes perfect sense. If that's the case, then we should make a program that centers around the legends behind the constellations.
でも、星座神話のプログラムなんてありきたりすぎないかしら。
That's where you come in. You have to come up with a program that only you could do. Don't you think that would be great? Just what kind of stories would you tell? I was getting excited just thinking about it.
なら、イベントのプログラム内容は星座神話にしましょう。
There's so many legends, though. It's going to be difficult.
最もポピュラーなのはギリシャ神話だけど、インドや中国などの逸話もあるわね。
Don't have a lot of time, so let's narrow it down bit by bit as we go. Are they gonna do it about fucking Hikoboshi and Orihime? Is that what this is going to boil down to? Is this gonna be more fucking down about the bullshit? I had enough of that. Like, I had a whole game basically centered around that. Like, enough is enough. Anyways, finally settled on an idea for the event. Next, we had to figure out who our target audience was going to be. Our event is scheduled for the 17th of the next month. That's a Monday. We will have to try to appeal to the kind of people who can come on that
カッ
day.
プル向けではなさそうね。となると、主婦かしら。
That would probably be rather difficult. I think our target audience should be
学
students.
生ね。
She seemed to be on the verge of an idea. Her face looked like she was deep in thought.
そうよ。新入生だわ。部員獲得のための下準備をするのよ。来年度入学する後輩たちに向けて、星の素晴らしさをアピールするのはどうかしら。
I see. It's like killing two birds with one stone. If that's the case, then our target audience will be students who are all preparing for tests. This is their busiest
そ
time.
れはそうかもしれないけど、でも、人には息抜きも必要ですわ。
Oria sounded a little peevish as she came up with an excuse. Breather, huh? I suppose that is important.
でしょ？プラネタリウムなんて気分転換にぴったりのはず。
Let's ask Korona to do a little digging for us. She could try and gauge whether people would be interested in
メ
going.
ローペに任せておけば問題なさそうね。よくできた末の妹を持ててラッキーですわ。
Hold on.
このケーキ美味しい。
I was thinking that she would immediately be like, yes, they're interested, or nah, that doesn't look too good. But instead she's like, oh, cake! Hold on. Anyways, this cake, that's still her line. I'm an idiot.
それは良かったです。わざわざ遠くまで買いに行った甲斐がありますわ。紅茶はいかがですか？お砂糖足りていますか？
ケーキが甘いからこのくらいでいいです。
That doesn't work. Or will it? And as the will has the way! We're at the Mako Academy Astronomy Club. Girls were indulging Corona and teen cakes. Cake. Singular.
なんだか至れり尽くせりで申し訳なくなっちゃうよね。
良いのです、良いのです。あなたは妹なのですから、どんどん食べてください。食べ終えた後、少しだけ我々の話を聞いてもらいますけど。
Our true purpose came bit by bit from Honoka. Honoka and Orihime were deceiving her by completely pampering her.
お腹いっぱい。
After 3 different slices of cake, even she was
あ
full.
んまり食べると眠くなっちゃうかな。この後勉強しなきゃいけないんだけど。
受験勉強ははかどっていますの？
ぼちぼちかな。名校は受け入れる外部生の数が少ないから倍率もかなり高くて大変だよ。
Konoha complained, but she didn't look worn out from studying. I suppose she was sound of body and mind. We have something to ask of you,
あ
Konoha.
なたたち受験生についていろいろ聞かせてもらいたいの。
Honoka refilled the tea without missing a beat. There was no plan to block her escape, but it worked just like that.
いいけど何が聞きたいの？
私たちでプラネタリウムのイベントをやるって話は、そのイベントにあなた方受験生を招待しようと考えてますの。
そうなんだ。それはみんな喜ぶよきっと。
本当にそうでしょうか。
Honoka pointed out the problem right away. She wasn't trying to point out flaws, but she was trying to gain the most information she could. Maybe they're all busy studying? Even if we invite them, do you think they will really come?
みんながみんな来るとはコロナも言わないよ。でも勉強漬けでぐったりしてるから気分転換したいなって切実に思ってる子は多いと思う。
ですよね、ですよね。星を見たら気分晴れ晴れですから。
Thanks to Corona, we were able to get an idea of how the examinees felt. And we just had to work out the finer details. The event is on February 17th. How close is that to the test days?
私立がだいたい2月頭に試験をやって公立が2月末になるかな。
そういうことはイベント開催日には私立の入試がもう終わっていますね。
私立の結果も出てきてそれを踏まえて公立の受験に挑むって感じかな。
結構ピリピリしていそうなタイミングね。
That's why the event will be so effective. At least that's what I was hoping. But I didn't think I had the wrong idea. There's something we want to ask you, Corona. Pulled out the bundle of papers we
何
prepared.
なのこれ。
アンケートですわ。2月17日にハーバータウンのプラネタリウムで受験生向けのイベントを開催するとしたら参加したいと思うかどうか。
アンケート用紙であると同時に参加希望受付にもなっています。
Students that circle yes for participation and write their name at school will get priority at the event.
どうかしら。やってもらえる？
The bundle of paper was pretty heavy. We made 200 sheets of A4 size paper. It was a pretty bit burden for Corona.
もちろんいいよ。コロナ
It was a pretty bit burden for Corona, as busy as she was with studying.
だってムツラ星の一員だもん。
助かりますわ。
でもこれだと容量悪くないかな。紙のアンケートもいいけどネットを活用しなきゃ。
Now you said you're right.
どうして今まで気づかなかったのでしょう。
しっかりしてよねも
ムツラボシのブログを担当している加納さんにお願いしましょう。
It would take some doing, but once it was set up, there would be almost no work to it.
う。ブログで告知するだけじゃなくてアンケート用のフォームを作るといいと思う。
それでは完全にムツラボシの会のイベントのように思われてしまわないかしら。
This was something Orihime was personally doing, not a full Six Stars Club event.
ちゃんと書いとけばいいよ。ムツラボシの会はこのイベントを応援してますって。
同じ星好きの仲間として応援するというスタンスは決して間違っていませんからね。
みんなを巻き込んでしまうみたいで申し訳ないのだけれど。
You're not getting us involved. We want to help you.
そうそう、勝手に巻き込まれに来ているだけだし。
今回コロナさんは巻き込んだ形ですよ。
コロナもやりたいって言ったもん。お母さんがうるさくなかったらもっといろいろできるんだけど。
ありがとう。無理しない程度に手伝ってね。
プラネタリウムイベントに関する意識調査ですね。任せてください。ブログに書く文面とフォームの内容をお願いします。
We contacted Noriko and asked her about the blog. Taking on two fronts, Corona in real life and Noriko on the net, we would be fine.
これで一安心ね。
加納さんに渡す文面はどうしましょう。
いいえ、こっちでやるわ。吉岡は合宿の方で忙しいのでしょ。
そこまでではありませんけど。
いいからこちらのことは任せてちょうだい。今日は付き合ってくれてありがとう。
いえ、私も会長のお手伝いができて楽しかったですから。
Noriko gave a slightly sad smile. She was signaling that she wanted to split up their work and be independent from Orihime. Even though it was painfully obvious, she couldn't put it into words. So we're finally here, back to Harbor Town.
リベンジの時よ。腕が鳴るわ。
We rolled up our sleeves and got ready. was one another thing here, looking at us coldly. There was one other here, looking at us coldly.
リベンジってそういう話だったっけ？
That's right, it was Narue from Nishihai.
なんとなくそういう気分になっただけで。
Feels like we're in enemy territory to Orihime and I.
そうかい。
Narue didn't seem
それより
moved.
姫さん、ちゃんと約束は取れてるんだろうね。
任せておいてください。バッチリですわ。
She's probably gonna flip out when she sees it. It's that planetarium, after hours. Not long before, it must have been filled with the heat of people looking up at the
これ
stars.
がプラネタリウムの投影機か。すごいな。
Her voice was filled with admiration at the old projector enshrined in front of her.
何年前の製品なんだ？どっかに書いてないかな。
こちらの投影機は約60年前のものです。
It was Mr. Morita, the director, who answered her.
かつて別のプラネタリウムにあったものですが、縁あって譲り受けることができました。この投影機があったから当館が生まれたと言っても過言ではないでしょう。
Mr. Morita was just stating the truth, but it came as a bit of a surprise. So he built the planetarium because of this projector.
すごい情熱ですわね。
これにはそれだけの価値がある。そう私は思っています。
The expression when he looked on the rugged dumbbell-shaped machine was filled with affection, different than when he looked at us. I was sure that was his true self. Would have given his life to protect that projector.
わかるよ。すごく。
I quite like that sweater as well.
分かっていただけるのですか？
こいつを見て何も感じない奴はバカだ。その神経を疑うよ。
Seemed like Narue could really understand Mr. Morita's feelings. I could see tears at the corner of her eyes. I guess the history etched into the old projector had really left an impression on her.
館長さん、今日は見学を許可してくれてありがとう。それと、こいつを守ってくれてありがとう。ここ。
いえ。
Whoops. Mr. Morita had no words. For most people, this old projector didn't even compare to the newer models. It probably didn't have much value outside of historical value. To the untrained eye, it was likely not much more than scrap metal. Even still, Mr. Morita had taken it in and cared for it. He had even built a whole planetarium around this machine. Many people probably didn't understand his passion and made fun of him.
それだけ昔の投影機なんだ。レンズもいいんだろうな。こいつが映す星を見てみたいよ。
どうぞこちらに。
Mr. Morita showed us, maybe Narue more than anyone, to the console.
すっげえな。これが制御盤か。
There was a small console covered in switches. A couple of labels were stuck along the
シ
side.
リウスがあって、こちらには流星もありますわ。
These are switches for the planet. There are switches for the planets
そ
here.
れぞれのつまみで星を操作するのか。
オペレーターが操作しやすいように説明をつけています。では動かしますよ。
The lights in the dome went off, and suddenly we saw a starless night sky. When Mr. Morita operated the console, the sky filled with stars.
こんな感じです。
It was over quickly. It was after hours, so he probably didn't want to stay back too long.
この投影機にしか出せない星があります。他とは違う人工の輝き。私はそれに魅せられた。
最新のじゃきっとこうはならないだろうしな。
待ってください。最新の機材の方がより美しい星を映せるのではないのですか？
You're currently in the presence of two people who have very much seemed to be raving about this machine. Maybe you shouldn't say that.
それは違うよ、姫さん。最新のプラネタリウムでも結局は光学式だ。つまりレンズが命ってことになる。大量生産品としての精度なら今の技術の方が優れているかもしれない。ただこいつは職人が作った芸術品なのさ。その温かみのある味わいがいいんだ。
Honestly, I didn't really understand the difference. but I could tell that those two were taken in by the romance of the old projector. I wondered just how important this planetarium was to Mr. Morita.
イベントをやらせてもらうんなら、こっちで操作させてもらえたりするのかな。
残念ですが、それはできません。技術のある専門の職員でないと、正常に動作させるのは不可能です。
だろうね。分かっていたけど、聞いてみたかったんだ。
Narue smiled with no hint of
で
disappointment.
は、イベント当日は職員の方に操作していただくことになるんですか？
はい。そこは当館のスタッフに任せていただきます。
残念だけど仕方ないね。こうして見せてもらっただけでも、私は十分さ。今日はありがとう、館長さん。貴重なものを見せてもらって、感謝してるよ。
こちらこそありがとうございました。見学なら歓迎しておりますので、いつでもご連絡ください。
I'm so beat.
私もですわ。
Cold night air felt nice. Orihime breathed deeply to clear her head.
今日は誘ってくれてありがとな。いい勉強になったよ。
Like us, Narue looked totally satisfied. I've run out of tissues. The purpose for today's tour had been to learn how the planetarium would operate and what would be possible for us. I knew that Narue, with her love of gadgets, would want to see the planetarium, so we had invited her
あ
along.
の館長さん、すげえいい人だな。尊敬できる大人ってのは、ああいうのを言うんだと思うよ。
Seems Narue really liked Mr. Morita.
森田先生も神野さんのことを随分と気に入ったようですわね。
I was surprised too. I didn't think such a cold gentleman would talk so passionately. It was all because Narue had been there.
ダメって言われたけど、やっぱ自分らで操作してみたいよな。
Yeah, controlling the stars like that, you'd feel like a god. Even as we looked up to the heavens from the earth, we were nothing more than specks of dust to outer space. It was a hard feeling to accept at times, but right now, we couldn't stop thinking what it would be like to have the powers to control the stars.
いいなぁ。プラネタリウムの職員。
I thought it would suit Narue. I couldn't help but think about it. Just apply for it.
では、公開しますね。
Noriko was working on her laptop. She was updating the Six Stars Club blog for the planetarium event.
これでいいと思います。アンケート結果については集まり次第後日まとめてお知らせしますね。ありがとう、カノンさん。本当に助かるわ。いえ、今週中に間に合ってよかったです。あと、吉岡さん、合宿についても軽く触れておいたからありがとうございます。
While Orihime and I focused on the event, Honoka was planning the camp. I didn't know how far along she was. It seemed she was put in charge by Orihime while I wasn't around.
それにしてもわざわざ天の中から来てもらって遠かったのではないかしら。ネット越しのやりとりもできますけど、たまにはちゃんと顔を合わせたいです。私も皆さんの仲間として参加してる気分になりたいですから。
The event plans had moved ahead one step thanks to Noriko. If we put her data together with Corona surveys, that would be plenty. The problem was creating our own original program. If we could convince Mr. Morita, the event wouldn't get... If we couldn't convince Mr. Morita, the event wouldn't get the green light. Meiko Academy's library sure is something. What a great collection. We parted with Noriko and went to the library to search for ideas and
エス
materials.
カレーター式の強みね。大学の図書館も利用できるから助かるわ。
I was shocked how different it is from Hoshino Daiichi's. We had come to look for books as reference materials. We would be able to make full use of Orihime and Honoka's library accounts. Using library books in combination with the internet, we would be able to focus on creating our own program for the planetarium.
白鳥元会長、霧のいいところで今日は終わりにしましょう。
It was already dark outside. Knowing we couldn't stay any longer, Honoka recommended we stop.
もうこんな時間？そうね。あまり遅くなってはご両親も心配されるでしょうし。
私のことはいいんです。ご自身を気遣ってください。
そうね。わかったわ。今日はこれまでにしましょう。
では、お先に失礼します。
それでは、また明日。
We saw Honoka off first. Orihime waved a smile, but once Honoka was out of sight, she turned to
さて
me.
続きをやりましょうか。
We weren't listening to Honoka at all.
だって時間がないんですもの。今は緊急事態よ。それに資料だっていつまでも借りていられるわけではないのだし。
I knew that. The bar period of the library was 14 days. We had to borrow as much as we could before the project started at the end of the month. Well, okay, but outsiders can't stay at night, can they? Meiko Academy had pretty tight security. Unlike Hoshino Daiichi, it would be impossible to stay overnight.
なら別の場所ですればいいだけの話ね。
My room again. I was happy to have her come, but I sensed trouble. It would be rude to the manager to let a girl into the room I was staying in.
そうね。毎度毎度空見くんの部屋って
Time for mine!
迷惑な話でしょうから。わかりました。今日はあなたを我が家にご招待しますわ。
He's just like... like, just without uttering even, like, without even making the tiniest of noises. Just utter confusion, like, you do realize the kind of, insinuation that has, right? Because I feel like you don't. No, that's okay. I didn't have the courage to just stroll into the mansion where I was sure her parents were.
なぜです？
I'd be a problem.
家をあげて歓迎しますから心配無用ですわ。
That's what I was worried about.
やはりこたつですか？こたつがない家になんて行けないと？
That's not it. But if that will make you give up, then let's say it is. It's that. This could get bad if I wasn't careful. I knew that Orihime was tenacious at times like
お
this.
母様の料理は絶品ですわよ。
Don't think you can lure me with food.
じゃあどうしたら釣れますの？
You can't lure me! Should have told her that I had to work.
困ったわね。
If we argue like this, the guard will worry and come
わ
over.
かりました。今日は私も引き下がりますわ。
It looked like she was finally convinced. I would just have to say good night and go home. But somehow things had taken a different turn. You're not going to her home. She's coming to your home. Gee, you really are persistent. Just as I thought Orihime was going home, she had come with me back to my place.
怒ってますの？
I'm just a bit surprised. Must have been my own stupidity.
ただお邪魔するのも申し訳ないですし、せめてコンビニのお手伝いでも。
Don't worry about it. The store's closed today anyway. Let's go. We'll just freeze if we stay
あり
here.
がとう、空見くん。
Seems like she saved her best smiles for times like these. Wonder if she actually knew the effect it had.
やはり季節は冬かしら。
We sat across from each other on the kotatsu, discussing the event's program. Yeah, if we show them off season. If we show them off season or constellations, the people watching won't get it.
イベントの帰り道、見上げたら同じ星座が見られるのが理想的ね。
If we matched the planetarium with the real stars, they might think to look at the stars themselves. If our event could make some of the younger students interested in the stars, that would make us happy more than anything. Orion is definitely the representative of the winter constellation.
四つら星の会にちなんで、オリオンに追われたプレアデスの姉妹の物語がいいかしら。 コロナさんにも好評でしたし。
If you focus on one, it might be too short.
ならやはり冬の星座を一通り取り扱うしかなくなるのかしら。
We had a similar discussion at the Mako Astronomy Club. As long as the season was winter, our event couldn't help but overlap with the planetarium's program. They were all trained professionals. If we did the same thing, it would be inferior.
観客が試験を控えた受験生なら、神話の内容もハッピーエンドが望ましいですわね。
Oh boy, that's gonna be a problem. There are a lot that end in tragedy. We don't want to depress
な
them.
かなか難しいわね。
Couldn't really decide on an idea. I flipped through the books we had brought, and nothing gave inspiration.
やはり星座神話なんて古臭いだけなのかしら。
She mumbled a complaint. She was always so strong in front of people, but sometimes she showed her vulnerable side. There are some good points too. Old stories have universal truths. Though some would say that was just old-fashioned too. But there are many people who find old things charming, like the director in
で
Narue.
も相手はコロナさんたち受験生ですから。
Which constellation would make examinees happy? There were students dead from studying. They would want quick relief. Showing constellations to people not interested in them, in the stars, would probably just bore them. Right, I guess we have to consider that.
あれと言いますと？
The other planetarium's other type of program, the one for couples, was similarly for those not interested in the stars, and it was designed for quick enjoyment. The voice is gonna be the trick. The form of voice actress was still fresh in my mind. Just hearing that voice had been
月
soothing.
浦美琴ですか。
Right, Miss Tsukura. I think her voice had been comforting. You should do the same thing, Orihime. I know you'll do it well.
私の声でですか？それは少々無理があるような。あちらはプロなのよ。素人学生の声で太刀打ちできるとはとても思えないわ。
Maybe not, but still. I didn't know how they would compare, but I thought Orihime's voice was charming. And she had put on a slight act since I met her. She was definitely suited to
ちょ
it.
っとあまりじっと
Whoops.
ちょっとあまりじっと見つめないでもらえます？
Sorry,
見つめないでもらえます？
Whoops. Sorry, I didn't mean to. But, couldn't help but look. Maybe it didn't really have anything to do with the planetarium, but she really was a beauty. Try standing like this.
はい。
She stood up from the kotatsu like I asked. This will be fine as a script. Read these lines.
いきなり？
Left plenty of practice for the main event, so you don't need to worry. Gave her a book of myths that happened to be open and had her read it.
困ったわね。
She was embarrassed but didn't refuse. Orihime reluctantly started to read.
おお、冥界の王ハデスよ。どうか私の妻エウリディケをお返しください。
It was the myth of Lyra, the story of Orpheus and his wife Eurydice.
自慢の盾ごとを鳴らしながらオルフェウスは何度も何度も懇願します。しかしハデスは聞き入れてくれません。
お願いです、エウリディケを。くどい。お前の妻は死んだのだ。現世に返すわけにはいかぬ。
お待ちくださいませ、あなた。私にはこの者の苦しみがよくわかります。彼に妻を返してあげていただけませんか？それはハデスの妻ペルセポネでした。彼女は農業の神デメテールの娘です。
何を言うか、ペルセポネよ。情に流されて世の断りを変えてはならん。
ですがあなた、愛し合う二人を裂くのはかわいそうですわ。ペルセポネはかつて地上で幸せに暮らしていました。ハデスに見初められ冥界に来ましたが、あの幸せな日々をずっと懐かしく思っていたのです。
My wrist hurts.
お願いします、ハデス様。何卒妻を、エウリディ家をお返しください。私からもお願いします。どうぞ、お慈悲を。
Okay, enough! I clapped my hands to stop her reading.
どうでしたか？
It was really good. I knew you'd be a great performer.
そんなことは。
It was better than I thought it would be. I'm not Hades, but I almost gave in to you. After that, Orpheus had gotten Hades' permission and left the underworld with his wife. But he broke a promise not to look back until they had left the underworld, and he lost his wife, Eurydice, once again. From the sorrow of losing his wife, Orpheus took his own life. His lyre, the one thing left, now placed sadly in the night sky.
オルフェウスの盾ごとの物語。悲しいお話だけれど、とても美しいわね。
How about it? Want to try it like that? You want to perform a reading of a constellation myth? Stories were a great way to get people interested. If the voice reading was charged with emotion, the starry sky would change into a theater.
朗読劇ですか。それは盲点でしたわね。
I know it would be great. Let's do it. It was worth trying. It just depended on how Orihime felt. Orihime! Like Orpheus to Hades. I had no Persephone to back me up, but I would get my wish. Suddenly just me who just kicks in the door. Please! Well, there goes the whole no Persephone thing.
わかりました。やらせていただきます。あなたにそこまで望まれてはノーとは言えませんもの。それにオルフェウスが求めたのにハデスが拒むわけにはいきませんからね。もう迷いません。決して振り返りませんわ。
That's my line.
いいじゃない、どちらでも。今はオルフェウスのような気持ちなんです。
Orihime no longer had any worry or doubt. She smiled brightly, like she had shrugged everything off.
空見くん、私、急に星が見たくなりました。連れて行ってください。
Sorry, Kotaro, it's not time for a walk. Apologizing to Kotaro, I got my bicycle. We'll have to ride double, is that okay? Ask her, indicating the cargo stand. Was the seat too hard and too cold for a princess like
も
Orihime?
ちろん、望むところですわ。
She sat on it without hesitation. Here we go, hold on! I pedaled down the dark mountain roads. Each time I pushed hard on the pedals, the bicycle leaned.
不安定ですわね。
You'll be fine if you hold on!
こうね。
Her hands were holding my coat wrapped around my body. Her hands were holding my coat wrapped around my body slightly more than necessary. She pulled herself close. I could feel the heat coming from the softness of her body. So, how do you like riding double?
最初は不安でした。すごくドキドキして。でも同時にワクワクもして。
How about now?
最高ですわ。
I just wanted to keep paddling forever. Past the sky into the Milky Way. Okay, so where's the ET in the basket?
見て、あんなに星が。
You shouldn't tell the person currently riding the bike to look up instead of at the road. I looked above my head while pedaling.
星がいっぱいすぎて。星座が探せない。
Past midnight, the winter sky was getting even darker. Stars starting to shine even brighter. It was even more impressive than the sky we had seen at the stargazing on Christmas Eve. There were so many stars, they looked like they would fall onto us.
止めて。
I stopped my bicycle like she asked. We were just on top of Oshino Dam. Unable to wait, she jumped off the cargo
いい
stand.
場所ね。とっても。
Still a little bright for watching the stars.
そうではなくて、このあなたが暮らした 三日月村のことよ。
The old Mikazuki village, as I knew it, had been sunk by the dam. The dream of the Mikazuki Astronomy Club had never come true, but there were still people who liked this place, all the same. She suddenly laid down in the middle of the bridge over the dam.
と
Orihime.
てもいい眺めよ。
She patted the ground next to her. I laid down next to her, as if guided. It's cold,
アスファルトに直接だもの。仕方ないわ。
but she didn't move to get up. The ground froze me through my coat. The cold of winter chilled me to the core.
まさかこんなところで寝転んで星を見るなんてね。
That's my
ご
line.
めんなさい、急に。でも今こうしてみたかったの。この瞬間のこの星空を。
She touched my hand like she was looking for warmth. I took her hand
だっ
wordlessly.
て暖かいのね。
I'm glad I'm with you.
そうね。
She gently gripped my hand. A pounding pulse warmed my cold body from the inside. Even if that was an illusion, our linked hands in that place were real.
そろそろ限界。
Unable to stand it, she jumped up. My dream was coming to an end. What should we do now? If we were going to keep stargazing, it would be best to head down to the lakeside observation spot. Though it would have been bad to go back home. It wouldn't have been bad to go back home.
寒いし帰りましょ
She's embarrassed, isn't she? Got it. I got on my bicycle again. It would be riding double again. But she just stared and didn't get on. Orihime?
う。気は空見くんに乗せてもらったから、帰りは私が運転しますわ。
No. She gripped the handlebars with shining eyes.
さあ、行きますわよ。出発進行。
I jumped quickly onto the cargo stand. We moved along unsteadily, but Orihime seemed to be enjoying herself. Why is she so adorable? Oh,
しっ
careful!
かり捕まっていないと怪我しますわよ。それ
She pushed the pedals powerfully. Mosquitoes. Balanced desperately on the back, but went with her.
今日初めて自転車の二人乗りをしました。そしてとても素敵な星空を眺めました。こんな幸せな夜があっていいのかしら。
Her pedaling eventually calmed down. The bicycle sped up. The downhill mountain road were like a roller
もっと
coaster.
ギュッと捕まって。
I know. Wrapped my arms around her hips and held on tight. They were surprisingly slim, different from a man. Her flowing hair gave off a sweet
こんな
smell.
風に抱きしめられるのも生まれて初めてのことですわ。
Couldn't see Orihime's face. I was sure that it was the same as mine. This is the first time for me too. I mumbled softly with my face pressed into her
何
back.
か言いましたか？
That was it. This was it. I realized something. I realized why I felt the way I did. I like you. That's what I said! Told her my feelings still pressed into her back. Did she hear me? No, I didn't care if she did. I liked this person. I liked Orihime Shiratori. I just needed to be sure of it myself. That's all. That was all I needed. She did hear it, didn't she? I still didn't know if Orihime had heard my confession. In the end, she hadn't stayed with me, but had called for a ride home. Okay, breakfast time, eat up. I fed Kotaro as soon as we got back from his walk. He was happy so early in the morning. I wished I could have had some of that energy. Ugh, he must be fucking dying right now. Tired, you know?
朗読劇に決まったんだ。
I was talking to Saya, who had brought me some food while I was at work. Orihime has a good voice and can act, so I think it'll be good.
いいんじゃないかな。
Anyway, I really need a favor from you, Saya. Can you take care of Orihime's outfit? After I finished work, I brought Saya to the Mako Astronomy
よ
Club.
く来てくれたわね、さやさん。
Orihime greeted her with a smile. Honoka was nowhere to be seen.
吉岡さんは？
今日は休日でしょ。わざわざ呼び出すのも悪いと思って。
He was having Honoka work hard on the training camp. He couldn't trouble her with our event.
衣装の件で話があると、アキト君から聞いてるんですけど。
そうなのよ。これを見ていただけるかしら。
She pulled out a Greek toga costume.
これ。
Don't look at me.
でも、アキト君が女装で着た服だよね。
その通りですわ。イベントの衣装にこれを使うのもいいんですが。
It's a special event, so I was thinking we could make it more fancy.
なるほど。でも、どうして私に？
Saya wasn't especially good at sewing. That was well known. We don't actually want you to do it, Saya.
聖戦女子の天文部の方に相談に乗ってもらえないかしら。
うちの天文部に？
The Seisen Astronomy Club draws comics, right? So I was thinking they might know about cosplay.
ちょっと聞いてみないとわからないけど、コスプレ衣装ならお願いできそうな気がする。私、一緒にコスプレしようって誘われたことあるし。
I hadn't heard about that. Wonder what kind of cosplay Saya had done.
してないからね。本当だよ。
Did you take pictures?
だからコスプレしてないってば。
Seems she really hadn't done it. That was a little disappointing.
それで聖戦天文部の方に話をしてもらえるかしら。
それはもちろんお引き受けします。ただ、
何か？
サイズを測ったり試着したり、いろいろしてもらうことになると思いますけど。も
ちろん、女性だけでしたら問題ありませんわ。
じゃあ月曜に早速話してみますね。
ありがとう、さやさん。助かるわ。
For the moment, we were finished with Saya. We could have parted there or gotten ready for the event.
私も手伝おうか？
That would be a big help. If she didn't help, I'd be alone with Orihime. But I didn't want that today, so I asked Saya.
ここの本を調べればいいんだよね。
ええ、お願いします。
We rifled through the mountain of materials on the desk. We still hadn't decided on the myth to use for the event.
星座神話って言っても難しいよね。
I know there's a lot, but they're all short.
朗読劇にしようと思うとなかなか。
取り扱いたいテーマはないんですか？例えば恋のお話とか。
Love. Right, love. Most constellations and myths were about love. Passionate love of the gods had given birth to many tragedies. I'm talking to you, so stop putting your dick in everything! Fuck you! That was a bad bit. That was a bad bit.
実際のプラネタリウムではどういう感じで扱ってるんですか？
I guess they just present them as you normally would. They try to include little jokes and things like
こ
that.
れから受験を控える後輩たちに悲しい物語を聞かせて良いものかどうか。
That was the thing concerning Orihime the most.
ごめんね。わざわざバスを使わせちゃって。
It's fine, I'm the one who asked you to come. Sai and I rode the bus to Mikazuki
白
Station.
鳥さんってあんなに悩む人だったんだね。
I always thought she was.
それみんな気づいてないと思うよ。多分知ってるのはアキト君と吉岡さんくらいじゃないかな。
That may be true. She was a leader, always acting strong and not showing her weaknesses.
アキト君にはそういうとこ見せてるんだね。
Saya mumbled softly. Don't really notice it, but how did it look to other
ね
people?
えあっくん、
What?
白鳥さんのこと好きになっちゃった？
What? All so sudden I shouted. Look, why you're asking that?
見てればわかるよ。
Orihime, Saya and I, how much attention did I pay when the three of us were together?
別に怒ったりしないから、アキトくんの気持ち、私に教えて。
Aya's eyes looked straight into mine. Blue and yellow, the two colors of Albireo. Faced with that, I couldn't lie or cover it up. Yeah, I like Orihime.
やっぱり。ねえ、アキトくんはあの人のどこが好きになったの？
I don't know. I can't put it into words, but I can't help looking at her.
そっか。恋ってそういうもの。
Oh, my nose is so itchy! Ah! What did you mean by
気
that?
持ちっていうのはね、ちゃんと伝わると思うよ。だから自分のしたいこと、考えてることを詰め込んだらどうかな。
Are you talking about the script for the reading? Even after I went back to my room after work, I thought about what Saya had said to me. What I want to do into it. What did I want to do? What was I thinking? The more I thought about it, the less I knew. My thoughts went in all directions. Let's go, Kotaro! I got Kotaro and walked under the clear winter sky. Look, Kotaro, it's Orion. I saw the giant constellation of Orion on the southern sky. It was a very popular constellation, maybe even the most popular winter constellation. What was Orion thinking? Orion had many faces depending on the myth. A roughneck, amorous, and a proud hunter. In many stories, he was hated for his savagery, but he was also portrayed differently. There were many interpretations of Greek myths, too. No one could say which one was correct. If I'm not sure, I should just decide myself. No one knew what was correct. If so, then I could just choose what I liked and what I wanted to do. Should have said the same thing to Orihime. I'll tell Orihime tomorrow. I'll ask her to let me write the script. In the end, Orihime had easily agreed. She hadn't really thought about the script. Leaving it to me had made things easier for her. Orihime had her own work to do, so I was in charge of the script, and she was in charge of everything else. Here we are again! With finished plans in hand, we were ready.
大丈夫かしら。
If there's anything to worry about, it's my script. There was no problem with the plan itself, but I wasn't confident in the script.
見せてもらった感じではなかなか悪くないと思ったけれど。
Thank you, but who we have to worry about is the director.
森田先生のお眼鏡にかなうかどうかといったところかしらね。
It wasn't just me. Orihime wasn't a fan of Mr. Morita either. He wasn't a bad person, he just seemed excessively
そろ
strict.
そろ約束の時間よ。行きましょう。
Let's do it. It was after hours at the planetarium. We had made an appointment with Mr. Morita to show him our plans.
持ってきましたか。では拝見しましょう。
よろしくお願いします。
Mr. Morita began reading our proposal without changing his expression. But that changed quickly.
おお、受験生に向けたイベントですか。
我々の後輩にこそ星の素晴らしさを知ってもらいたくて。
We thought it would be a good break from studying.
客層を絞るのは悪くありません。
He praised us with short words. It wasn't a bad
ア
feeling.
ンケートも取ったのですか。紙とネットでこれだけの数を。
企画に説得力がないとご納得いただけないかと思いまして。
その通りです。
Seemed like we were doing well. The data gathered by Corona and Norikos supported our proposal. We had also attached a current list of people who wanted to attend. If the place was empty when the event actually happened, there would be no
な
point.
るほど。一通り拝見しました。
どうでしょうか。
いくつか修正をしていただきたい箇所があります。ですが、大筋では問題なさそうですね。
ということは、
許可しましょう。あなた方の作るプラネタリウムの夜を。
We had finally got the okay! I instantly relaxed with relief.
まだ安心するのは早いですよ。この脚本、このままではいささか稚拙すぎます。
Oh, I'll be fixing
実
that.
際に機材と連動させる都合もあります。詳細はこちらで打ち合わせをしていきましょう。
I'll make sure to. I'll make sure to, not do.
他にはありませんか？
そうですね。細かい点については後ほど箇条書きにしてお渡しします。ですが一つだけ、未来ある若者たちに本物の星を見てほしい。そう願うのならば、ここは変えた方がいい。
Mr. Morita got out a pen and wrote on the
イ
proposal.
ベント開始は夕刻にしなさい。そうすれば終わる頃には星空が待っていますから。
Leading up to the event, we had a great deal to do. Mr. Morita, the director, was a great help after he gave our plan the green light. We worked together with the planetarium staff to prepare the show. We wanted to make the best event possible. The staff had deep knowledge and experience. They helped us out a lot. Even so, it was our event. As much as possible, we put our own spin on it to make it feel like our own, feel like ours. It was a busy but also enjoyable time. It was over before we knew it. It's still quite early, only slightly past the halfway point on the now. The event was tomorrow and we were overwhelmed with fine preparations.
参加希望者の人はこれでよかったかしら。
That's not the newest one. Noriko, can you print out the newest one?
はい、すぐ出しますね。アキトくん、衣装の最終確認、今いいかな？
Orihime, can you free yourself up?
5分待ってください。吉岡、こちらを手伝って。大至急。わかりました。
It was the day before the event, but it was chaos. Out of the 6 Star Club members, Narue and Keisuke weren't here, but they would help out tomorrow at the event. Korona wasn't able to go out because she had to study.
衣装、どんな感じに仕上がったんですか？神秘的ですごく素敵な感じですよ。
少々露出度が高いと思うのですけど。
そこはもう散々話し合ったじゃないですか。
でもやっぱり恥ずかしいですわ。
I heard there had been quite a stir with the members of Saya's Seisen Girls Astronomy Club. They could put a beauty like Orihime in cosplay. They had been instantly excited by the prospect. But they had gotten a little too excited and the costume design ended up being pretty risque. So much so that Orihime flat out said she wouldn't wear it when she first saw it. After much adjusting, the costume was supposed to have been toned down a little.
やはり肌を見せすぎです。
ポロリはしないように作ってもらってますから。
そういう問題じゃありませんわ。
So it was something you could fall out of. I found that very interesting.
セラミ君、想像をたくましくするのは自由ですが、いやらしい顔になっていますよ。
Just like, so it's something you could fall out of. I can't help it! I haven't seen the finished costume yet!
見せられるはずないでしょう。こんなハレンチな。
Isn't that bad? With Orihime acting like that, my anticipation only grew. Didn't think that a simple reading at the planetarium needed such a flashy costume, though. It seemed the cosplay lovers at Seisen Girls went above and beyond what was needed.
参加希望者とは別に当日客も入れるんですよね。
そのつもりです。席はまだ空きがありますから。
なら白鳥さんの衣装姿をブログにアップしたらどうでしょう。
絶対にダメ。
すごく似合ってると思いますけど。
似合う似合わないの問題ではありません。あんな格好インターネットに流出させたらお母様に叱られてしまいます。
So just give it up, Noriko. We couldn't get her in trouble with her parents.
わかりました。残念ですけど仕方ないですよね。
If we put up Orihime's pictures, I'm sure we'd get quite a crowd. but it wouldn't be quite right to bring in people just by using a risque costume. There were plenty of people already planning to come, and it would work against what we wanted to achieve. The event preparations continued into the
物
night.
質利用の延長申請してきました。
ありがとう、吉岡。助かるわ。
ですが延長するだけですよ。限度はありますからね。
分かっています。
場所を変えて空見くんの部屋でというのは許可できませんから。
分かってるわよ。それについては散々謝ったじゃない。
I'm sorry about that. I was mostly at fault for that. Honoka found out later that I had let Orihime in my room late into the night.
別にいいじゃないの。何もなかったのだから。
何かあってからでは遅すぎます。
分かったわよ。
Even Orihime seemed to realize it was thoughtless. After that, she didn't come to my room alone again.
それともあれかしら。正式にお付き合いしてしまえば問題なくなる？
白鳥織姫元会長。
Hey, you shouldn't want to date someone just so you could use their room.
そうよね。ごめんなさい。
She realized she had said too much and
ま
apologized.
ったくあなたという人は隙がありすぎるんです。もっと自分というものを正しく認識してください。ただでさえ頻繁に告白されているのですから。
Really? It was obvious when I thought about it. It was so beautiful, the boys must have been all over
た
her.
まにラブレターをもらう程度よ。全部お断りしているわ。
Wasn't there anyone who you wanted to date?
話が合いそうもない相手と交際なんてできないでしょ。
星好きでないと話が合いませんから。
Okay, I could understand that. Someone who wasn't interested in stars didn't have a chance.
恋愛には私も興味がないわけではないのですけれど。
それは初耳です。
私だって恋に憧れる乙女よ。それに小さい頃からお母様ののろけ話ばかり聞かされていたのだから。
Wouldn't that make you sick of them?
全然。むしろ私もあんな恋がしてみたいとずっと憧れていたわ。
Also thinking about it, the whole how he told her that he loves her, even though either is ignoring the fact that he heard it, or he actually didn't hear it. Isn't that like usually like with the reverse roles with like the girl like holding on to the guy's back as he pedals, and then she says it, and she didn't hear it because of the wind, and she's just never mind. Anyways, Orihime's parents were said to be deeply in love. Apparently, her father's proposal was so dramatic that her mother was just swooned.
お母様はね、プラネタリウムで告白されたの。だから余計に星に思い入れがあるみたい。私もすっかりそれに感化されてしまったわ。もし私が誰かとお付き合いすることになるとしたら、その時はお母様のような恋がしてみたいと思っているの。高望みなのは分かっているのだけれどね。
Orihime gave a bit of smile. She was setting the bar really high. I was relieved and nervous at the same time. Oh my god, I just realized something. Is he gonna have like they have like the weird thing where it connects the stars? Is he gonna use that in order to confess? Because that'd be kind of exciting. Anyways, I wonder if it was possible for me to be the one for her. I stayed right to the end of our extended time. Then it was time to leave. Okay, see you
い
tomorrow.
よいよ明日ね。
So, how do you feel?
楽しみよ。でも同時に不安でたまらないわ。
Feel the same. We were feeling the same excitement as the day before school culture festival.
興奮して今夜は寝つけないかもしれませんね。
その時は連絡して付き合うわ。
何を言ってるんですか。ダメですよそんなの。
吉岡は付き合ってくれないの？
当たり前です。余計に眠れなくなるじゃないですか。
じゃあ
Orihime turned her pouting gaze towards me. I want to say no, but I'll stay up with you for a while. I understand how you feel.
空見くん、うちの会長を甘やかさないでください。元会長でしょ。
She said this, raising her finger to Honoka. Orihime snapped her finger on Honoka's forehead. What's happening?
いつまで経っても会長って呼ぶものだから、ペナルティを与えることにしたのよ。
会長っていうたびにデコピン一発なんです。
Who says pluck? Usually people say a flick.
今のはなしです。
例外は認めません。
元会長の意地悪。
でも緊張は適度にほぐれたようね。
After that ridiculous exchange, she seemed to have relaxed.
明日はイベント当日よ。ゆっくり休んで本番に備えてちょうだい。
わかりました。
Rode my bicycle down the night streets. From Mako Academy to Mikazuki Station. Following the ridge, the road became steeper and steeper. I stood on the pedals and my breath got ragged. It was offset by the stinging cold air. More pants. I was no longer nervous, but I just got more excited. Whatever I thought about, I was sure I'd sleep blissfully. All that came to mind was Orihime. This is what you call love. This was the first time I'd experienced this excitement different from the night I ran from my grandfather's house with my telescope and ran through my body. Huh? Yeah, that was right. I love Orihime! I screamed it to no one. The emotion was so much that I couldn't keep it in. Tomorrow was the main event. Would he even have a sleepless night too? This man has a lot of energy. Should I? The one we had been waiting for kept slowly closer. Harbor Town was filled with people buying dinner. Another group of people started to gather in the crowd. That is, the potential future astronomy club students that had come for the event.
アキニ、ちゃんと来たよ。いよいよだね。
Yeah.
飽きたわ。
So you had to come with Take, huh?
俺がついていくってことで、ようやく許可が下りたんだよ。
ああ、お兄ちゃんがいなくてもコロナ平気なのに。
Like her parents are hell overprotective. Like Jesus. Give the girl at least some freedom.
なわけあるか。
The brother and sister bickered like always. But it wasn't a hateful bickering. Oh, that's right, Corona. Congratulations on getting into Mako. The results for the Mako Academy tests had already been published. Corona had passed with flying colors. Next year she'd wear the same uniform as Orihime.
ありがとう、アキニ。でも、おめでとうって言ってもらうのもう8回目だよ。
って回数覚えてんのかよ。
当たり前じゃん。だって嬉しいことなんだもん。
Free from her tests, Corona was full of energy. She had been on edge before the tests, but now that she'd passed, she was more energetic than ever.
あんまり邪魔しちゃ悪いよね。イベント、すごく楽しみにしてるから。
俺はこいつのお守りをするけど、何かあったら言えよ。手伝うから。
Thanks, Sake. I'll ask if I need anything. We high-fived and parted ways.
じゃあ、アキニ、また。
The Kaskabas went into the planetarium. I could see Saya and Keisuke greeting people as they entered.
おーい、空見くん。
Is it almost time?
そうだよ。こっちに来てくれ。
Got it! I went to the planetarium with Narue.
イベントは盛況のようですね。喜ばしいことです。
Mr. Morita called out to us once we entered the dome. Seats were already halfway full. Looks like they'd fill up soon. They looked like they would fill up soon. Mr. Morita, thank you for
こ
today.
ちらこそよろしくお願いします。協力していいイベントにしましょう。
I shook hands with Mr. Morita. I always had thought he was scary, but tonight we were partners. He had been even stricter once he'd given us the okay, but we had the same goal, and we worked
これ
together.
だけの若い方々が集まるとは思いませんでした。
According to Mr. Morita, usually young children and older people attended the special openings. The concept of gathering only school students was exciting, and had the potential to increase the students' interest in astronomy. We do have some promising young students. They do some good work.
素晴らしいことです。しかし、問題はこれからです。イベントの結果次第では失望されかねません。
Do you think that'll happen?
どうでしょう。ただ個人的には成功してほしいと願っていますよ。
With those words of encouragement, Mr. Morita left. I thought Naruto would jump into the conversation, but she was speaking heatedly with a staff member by the control console. She must have been interested in it. She was asking a question unrelated to the event.
空見くん、そちらの様子はいかがですか？
Naruto and I will do fine
よ
together.
ろしくお願いしますね。
Naruto and I were in charge of the projector, while Orihime and Honoka were keeping the event moving. The rest of the members were in charge of the guests and other tasks during the night. The event had ended up including all of the Six Stars Club members, but that was okay. After seeing Orihime's intentions for the event, everyone had agreed to help in the end. It would benefit everyone, and with their love of the stars, everyone was glad to participate. Is Orihime
着
ready?
替え終わって、今は控室で待機中です。
If I went and checked on her,
勘弁してください。ただでさえ恥ずかしいと言っているんですから。
in the end, I had never seen her outfit. All the female members had seen it, and they all seemed to like it. Only Keisuke and I were left
聖
behind.
戦女子の方にメイクもしていただきました。ですから、すごいですよ。期待してくださいね。
Honoka stoked my anticipation. Couldn't wait for the event to start. The empty seats slowly filled up. People's voices were raised with a buzz. Were they blowing off steam from studying, or overly excited by getting into their school of choice like Corona? Either way, the dome was filled with younger students from our schools.
空見くん、
Naruto beckoned me over to her. It was almost time.
皆さん、本日はご来場いただき、誠にありがとうございます。
With Honoka's greeting, the time to begin had
こ
come.
ちらのプラネタリウムのご好意により、イベント開催の運びとなりました。私たちは、星の中市六校の天文部のグループ、六田星の会と言います。ご存知の方もいるかもしれません。初めて知ったという方もいると思います。受験勉強でお疲れの皆様の気分転換になればと思い、今回イベントを企画しました。もし星に興味をお持ちになりましたら、来年の春、天文部のドアを叩いてください。我々は新しい仲間を歓迎します。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Honoka bowed. There was soft applause in response. Soft enough to not disrupt the quiet atmosphere. It's pretty loud, actually.
お待たせしました。それでは、いよいよイベントが始まります。むつら星の会、前会長である白鳥織姫による朗読劇、冬のオリオンと恋物語です。
Hit it! When Honoka announced the title, the lights in the dome went dimmed. The planetarium went quiet, just like the movie theater before the show starts. From the side stage, or rather the entrance door, a single girl walked slowly inside. She was lit thinly by a spotlight.
Minasan, konnichiwa. 白鳥織姫です。
Yeah, that outfit is kind of much. Like, it's fucking good looking. Like, I don't want y'all to misunderstand. It's fucking amazing looking. But by God, it looks like her tits are about to fall out any second now. Like, this looks like some bad cliche isekai princess outfit.
本日は星座と神話の世界に皆さんをご案内したいと思います。
Now that I finally saw Orihime's outfit, it was clearly striking. A dress made of twin layers of transparent cloth was so beautiful it made all those who saw it catch their breath. It was a simple costume, but the eye was drawn to the accessories that adorned it. It is quite a costume. But Orihime fit right in, wearing it surrounded by all those stars. As she stood there, she looked benevolent. It was almost like a divine spirit was radiating from her.
現在、時間は17時を少し回ったところです。星の中市は間もなく日没を迎えます。まずは今の空をここに再現してみましょう。
With the assistance of the projector, the sunset was reproduced. An orange light, slightly thinner than a real thing, spread through the
実
dome.
際にはもっと夜に近い色の空だと思います。では、もう少し時間を進めてみましょう。
At my signal, the staff member operated the console. The sky moved and changed quickly to the winter stars.
こちらが夜8時の星の中市の空です。ご覧ください。この雄大な星々の連なりを。冬の夜空でもひときわ目立つのがオリオン座です。皆さんもご存知かと思いますが、念のため。
Naruhe was in charge of the pointer. She pointed out the Orion constellation on the screen. Orion.
これがオリオン座です。皆さんも理科の授業で勉強して知っていると思います。
Like, is that like actually a normal thing in Japan? Like they just have astronomy in science classes? Because that wasn't something that I had, like at all. Like you never covered anything about the stars. Like seriously. Anyways,
昔の人は星の並びを見てそれを絵に例えました。皆さんはここに狩人の姿が見えますか？ちょっと難しいですよね。昔の人にはこんな風にオリオンが見えていたようです。
I made a signal to the staff member. The projector worked and an outline of Orion appeared over the stars.
どうでしょう？オリオンの勇壮な姿はかっこいいですか？それとも怖い？
Look like he's just standing there like... Like it looks like he's just standing there like that. Hold on. More like that, I guess. Case in point, it looks fucking stupid. I know that's probably supposed to be a bow and arrow. Like that being the bow and that probably being an arrow. Something like that.
神話の中でもオリオンは様々な形で描かれています。強いオリオン、野蛮なオリオン、そして濃い大きいオリオン。そんなオリオンにまつわる星座神話を皆さんにご紹介したいと思います。まずは月の女神アルテミスとオリオンの恋物語です。
This was the end of the introduction. Now this curtain would open on Orihime's
オ
reading.
リオンは海の神ポセイドンを父に、ミノス王の娘エウリュアレイを母に生まれた英雄です。
Oh boy.
人並み外れた体格と類いまれなる美しさを持ち、優れた狩人としてその名を轟かせていました。そんなオリオンの有名を聞いた月の女神アルテミス。彼に興味を持ち、声をかけます。オリオン様、私と一緒に狩りをいたしましょう。
ぜひお供させてください。どちらがより獲物を取れるか競うとしましょう。
狩りが得意なアルテミスは自慢の弓を使い、たくさんの獲物を狩っていきます。どうですか、オリオン様。私の弓にはとてもかなわないでしょう。
さすがアルテミス様。ですが俺も負けません。
手数はアルテミスが圧倒的に上。とても獲物の数ではかないません。オリオンの奮闘虚しく、その差は開いていくばかり。どうですか？
これで私の勝ちのはずですわ。
アルテミスの前には獲物が渦高く積み上げられています。そんな彼女の前にオリオンは自分の獲物を置きました。
獲物の数ならあなたには遠く及びません。だが大きさなら俺の勝ちです。
アルテミスの獲物はウサギや鹿ばかり。とてもオリオンの取ったクマには及びません。
なんて見事なクマでしょう。
数はあなたの勝ち、大きさは俺の勝ちです。この勝負引き分けですな。
あなたのおっしゃる通りですわ、オリオン様。今日のところは引き分けにしましょう。ですが次こそはあなた以上の大物を仕留めてみせますわ。
こうしてアルテミスはオリオンとの勝負を続けることになります。
Why does my knee suddenly hurt?
しかし何度やっても引き分けばかり。獲物の数ではアルテミスの圧勝なのに、オリオンより大きな獲物を狩ることができません。どうしてあのお方にだけは勝てないの？アルテミスはオリオンの勇猛さを見せつけられ、次第に惹かれていきます。オリオン様。アルテミスはオリオンへの恋心を募らせていくばかり。告白もできないまま二人の狩りは続きます。あの方と狩りをしている時間が一番幸せ。オリオンも美しく凛々しいアルテミスに次第に思いを寄せるようになります。
あれほど美しい人なのに、弓の腕前は俺をはるかにしのぐとは。
狩りの時間が二人の仰せ。思いを切り出せぬまま月日は流れていきます。
やりましたわ。ご覧ください。こんなに大きなイノシシを仕留めました。
なんとすごい。さすがアルテミス様。俺の負けです。
ついにアルテミスがオリオンに勝ってしまいます。長かった引き分けは終わりを迎えてしまうのです。でも勝ったアルテミスはちっとも嬉しくありません。
どうしたのですか？勝負はあなたの勝ちです。嬉しくはないのですか？
オリオン様に勝ったことは嬉しく思いますわ。
でもこれで私たちの勝負が終わってしまうかと思うと。
俺も同じです。これであなたとの狩りを終わりにしたくない。
オリオン様。
思わずオリオンに抱きつくアルテミス。そのまま熱い口づけを交わします。
オリオン様、あなたのことが好き。
Mofo probably never put his ear to goddamn ground because then you would know that the romance with gods never ends well. I mean, falling for Apollo literally gets you turned into a goddamn piece of shrubbery.
俺もです、アルテミス様。いえ、アルテミス、俺もあなたが好きだ。
こうして二人は互いに思いを伝え合い、恋人同士になったのです。
The story of Ryan and Artemis's love. Ryan's serious performance stoked the crowd's emotions. I heard the faint squeals of girls. Our first act had gone perfectly.
今の話、空見くんの創作なんだよね。
I wrote the base of it, but a lot of people helped.
でも、ベースはそうなんだ。
You kept your teasing gaze on me. Stop that, you're making me embarrassed. I knew it was embarrassing. But weren't all love stories that way?
悪い悪い。いや、なかなかよくできてるなって褒めてあげたかったんだよ。
Narue was smiling. Didn't look like she was
あんた
teasing.
のことずっと疑問に思ってたんだ。聖戦のあの子とかツインテの子とか可愛い子揃いなのにちっとも興味なさそうだったから。
Was he gay? Like, is that what you... Like, did she think that he was, like, in a gay relationship with Take, possibly?
こやつ、もしかしてゲイ？
Yeah!
あの竹市ってことくっついてるのかと思ってたよ。
Oh, give me a break.
悪い悪い。でもさ、さすがに勘違いだと気づいたよ。だってあんた恋してるんだろ？わかるよ、それくらい。私だって女なんだしさ。
Narue didn't say who she thought I loved, but I was sure it was obvious. Thinking that, my face turned
悪
red.
いね。水を差しちゃって。ほら、姫さんの演技続いてるよ。
That's fucking adorable.
しっかり聞いてやんなきゃ。
Narue stopped me from talking and returned her attention to Orihime's reading. Orihime told stories from Artemis's love to Paula's deceit up to Orion's violent death. Orihime read with emotion. The myths she performed charmed the audience. And the way she looks, just like a goddess from a Greek myth. The light illuminating her was out, but the dim light from the projector hit her softly. Mysterious, noble, and fragile. Her luxurious beauty couldn't be expressed in a single word. But as how Orion, some Artemis. My moon goddess. A form shining in the sky was unreachable. But she had come down to earth where Orion was.
ああ、オリオン様。愛しい愛しいオリオン様。私は何ということをしてしまったのでしょう。あなたに恋をしたばかりに、こんなに弱い女になってしまいました。自らの矢でオリオンを射殺してしまった事実が、アルテミスを苛みます。あなたともう一度、狩りがしたい。共に脳をかけたあの日々は、もう戻らないのでしょうか。悲嘆に暮れるアルテミス。それを哀れに思ったのは、彼女の父、ゼウスでした。
我が娘、アルテミスよ。これ以上嘆き悲しむのはやめなさい。
お父様、どうか私の恋人オリオンを生き返らせてください。
それはならぬ。世の断りを変えることは、我でも許されぬこと。
I really like mixing Orpheus and Orion now.
ですが、オリオン様を失った今、私はこれ以上生きていけません。ゼウスは娘の悲しみがこれほどとは思いませんでした。でも、オリオンを蘇らせることはできません。
聞きなさい。我が娘アルテミスよ。オリオンを生き返らせることはできぬ。だが、お前と再び会えるようにしてやろう。
ゼウスは自らの力を使い、オリオンの亡骸を夜空に飛ばしました。
月の女神であるお前なら、オリオンのもとへ行くこともできよう。
ありがとうございます、お父様。アルテミスは銀の馬車に乗り、夜空に浮かぶオリオンに会いに行きます。オリオン様、あの懐かしい日々を思い出すように、オリオンとアルテミスは狩りをするのです。夜空に月と星が巡り続ける限り、いつまでも。
Orion was displayed again. The savage Orion who chased the Pleiades sisters looked kind and courageous. It was hard to say that Artemis and Orion's story had a happy ending, but thinking your love beautiful, it ended it like that. Couldn't leave the examinees feeling sad. Their love had lasted forever. Would my feelings reach the moon goddess? In the end, our planetarium event had been a huge success. When it came to the stories of Orion, some were definitely better than others, but thanks to Orihime's performance, they had all been entertaining. Korona and Takeichi found me and ran over.
さすがに美人は様になってたな。っていうかお前、ナルエちゃんとずっと一緒だっただろ。
What am I gonna do? That was my job. I didn't try anything, so don't worry.
当たり前だ。
It seemed Takeichi followed all of Narue's movements around the dome.
ここで解散になるのかな。
Yeah.
じゃあ最後に姫ちゃんが言ってたみたいに星を見ながら帰ろうっと。お兄ちゃん帰るよ。
ちょっと待て、まだナルエちゃんに挨拶してないんだって。
挨拶したってどうせ無理だと思うけどな。
てめえ。
それじゃあね、アキニ。バイバイ。
Korona ran off in the direction of home, and Takeichi chased after her. The other kids, looking up at the sky and talking to their friends, slowly made their way home. Went back to the planetarium, and it was empty of guests. The dome was deserted. Mr. Morita was standing silently. He wasn't looking at the old projector or at the stars projected on the screen. He was staring at the seats. Mr. Morita?
何かありましたか？
No, I wanted to say goodnight. The event finished without a hitch. It's all thanks to you and your staff, Mr. Morita.
いえ、それは違います。我々は設備を提供し、あなた方のアイデアに力を貸しただけです。今日のイベントはあなた方のものです。イベント成功おめでとう。
I took his outstretched hand and shook
後
it.
片付けが済んだら遅くならないうちに帰りなさい。若者には星を見る時間が必要ですから。
Mr. Morita said that. When Mr. Morita said that, I got embarrassed, turned around and left. He must have been feeling sentimental after the event. Even I could feel a strange, sourceless, fuzzy feeling.
空見くん、こちらは撤収準備 OK です。
The outside looks fine too. Saya and Keisuke are still
お
there.
二人がいれば大丈夫ですね。
What about Orihime?
そろそろメイクを落として戻ってくる頃だと思いますが。来ました。ほら、あそこに。
The one I was looking for appeared at the staff entrance. She hesitated at first, but soon trotted over to me.
ただいま。
Words I'd heard in my dreams. Welcome back. She was a goddess, but she returned to Earth. That's what those words meant to
吉
me.
岡もお疲れ様。いろいろ任せてしまってごめんなさい。いえ、皆さん手伝ってくれましたから。頼もしいわね。
Orihime, being part of the main cast, had ended up leaving Honoka in actual charge of the event. No one had appointed her, it just happened naturally. She was the perfect successor to
撤
Orihime.
収準備はできていますが。そうね。帰りましょうか。
We said a final goodbye to Mr. Morita and his staff and went outside. There was no one around. It was hard to believe it had been so busy
終わ
earlier.
ったわね。
It was finally starting to feel real. I stood next to her, feeling calm. You did great today, Orihime.
ええ、空見くんもお疲れ様。
Whoops. I enjoyed the feeling of accomplishment as we stood there, watching the dimly lit harbor town. I was sure Orihime felt the same. So I just stood next to her.
ハキトくん、バス来たよ。
Saya came to get me. Remaining people were gathered at the bus stop. I'm gonna stay here a little longer.
そうなの？
I don't want to go home yet. I was like a kid having a fit because he didn't want to leave because he didn't want the festival to be over. I knew that, but I couldn't help it.
わかった。じゃあ、私は先に帰るね。
Be
じゃあ
careful.
ね、ハキトくん。白鳥さんもお疲れ様でした。
Saya went home. Orihime, Honoka, and I were the only three left.
私もお先に失礼しますね。
Honoka bowed her head quickly and scurried away. What's wrong with her?
多分、気を使ってくれたのね。あの子は私のこととなると察しがいいみたいだから。
Consider it.
月の女神、アルテミス。私が着た衣装は彼女がモチーフだと聞いているわ。
I heard that too. Yet for some reason she had a sun around her, waist. That happened when the Seisen girl students saw the in-progress
み
script.
んながこぞって言うのよ。本当に女神様みたいだって。そんなことないと思っていたわ。アルテミスのような気高さも強さも私にはないから。でもね、今日だけはアルテミスになろうと思ったの。イベントに来てくれた後輩たちのため、手伝ってくれたムツラ星のメンバーのため。
I think I talked about before how it's sometimes I just have these extremely cringy lines that just randomly pop into my head at certain things like that. But I wanted to be Artemis just for the day. He just looks at her. Mind if I'm your Orion then? And I immediately just felt physical pain. I think I took a D100 psych damage. I don't know why I said it like that. Isn't that like the meme? I don't even play D&D that much. I think we've missed out on the last 2 sessions because once no one showed up. No, I think the last 3 sessions even. Once no one showed up, then the DM didn't have a time, and then I didn't have time because you know, I thought, oh, I should, you know, get some sleep for the internship. Anyways.
そして、あなたのために。
Orima's eyes looked straight at me. Looked right back at her as if to return the beam of her stare.
実は、謝らなければいけないことがあるの。先月のあの夜、聞こえていたの。でも聞こえないふりをしてしまって。
So you heard me. 1.5 month had passed. I thought the reason you didn't react for so long was that you didn't hear my confession.
ごめんなさい。せっかくあなたの気持ちを聞いたのに、ずっと黙っていて、イベントの準備をしている間も考えていたわ。私はどうしたらいいのかって。でもなかなか答えは出なくて。だけど、アルテミスになってみて気づいたの。恋をするって、こういうことなのね。
Baby, don't hurt me. It says what is love. Actually, not quite. No, now my joke is ruined. Great. I made an ass of myself. But then again, when do I not? She took a deep breath. At that signal, Orihime raised her head and something switched in her.
私は女神アルテミス。夜空より世界を照らす青白き月。だけど今宵は地上に降り立ったただの恋する娘。これが答えよ。
Her lips touched my cheek. They felt soft, warm, and slightly moist. Couldn't do anything from the sudden kiss.
今これ以上は無理だから。じゃあね、空見くん。
She ran away. She was close enough that I could catch her if I chased her. But it was so sudden, all I could do was stand stunned. I'm not dreaming, am I? Getting my hand on the cheek she kissed. Artemis, goddess of the moon. She had come to Earth, so when I looked up, she hadn't been there. I thought she was someone I couldn't reach. I thought she was unattainable, so I had given up. But I had liked her. I thought my feelings wouldn't reach the moon. How could you just do that? She had kissed me as a reply to my confession. The shock had evaporated my feelings of excitement from a moment ago. Next day. Anyways, I think there should still be enough time for another part. So I'm gonna go and end the part here. Since it is getting pretty late. It's 1:30 a.m. Fuck. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and see you next time. Bye bye.